Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi.
Kato, tonne no. Vedä se. Onpa vaikeeta. Tuo ja tuohon ja... Kiis. Ilmoittaudun mukaan E-hockey SM-kisoihin. 1 vastaan 1 tai 6 vastaan 6 joukkuekisa. Nää se oli ihan nättiä niinku oikeesti pelattu.
Hello, friends, and welcome to the ECL 24 Winter 1v1 Top 4 Finals. My name is Brandon Bixby, and joining me, Lari Sopuli Instrom. Sopuli, thank you so much for taking time and joining me here in the booth today.
Yeah, awesome to be here. Great from SportsGamer to have me on, and I will be trying to get some insights on little details about the games here today. And yeah, nice to be here.
Yeah, man, it should be a fun ride. We're going to have our semifinals and our finals matchups right here as we will take a quick look at the bracket to show you guys that. We have got Ekin, Temppanen, Eki, and Sisu all fighting for the right to be at that number 1 spot. You see how each of these 4 players got here. Temppanen, the only one that had to play in that extra 3, but did have to go up against one of the champions of last year's tournament in Artuzio. So a tough matchup for him, but nevertheless, 4 of the top players, not just in Europe, but in the world playing in this one. As we will take it back over to us here. And before we do get things started here, our first matchup will be between Temppanen and Ekin. We will get a chance to interview with a few of our players here. So we'll get that set up here in just a few minutes. But Suplio, I got to ask you, man, what are you most excited here about this semifinals? 4 the top players in the world fighting for that bragging rights, obviously clinching the grand finals, but still want to be able to find your way into that championship for the winter season.
Yeah, honestly, I'm very impressed by the fact that these 4 have been able to be so consistent through these last few years. All 4 of these players were actually in either the ECL 1v1 winter or the spring season's top 4 last year. So I'm really excited to see who is able to prevail here today, as they've all shown in the last 2 years that they are at the top 10 level of the game in Europe.
Yeah, it's a really good point. A lot of top talent, as it looks like we've got our first interview queued up. So we'll get that here ready in just a few seconds as we now have Ekin joining us. Ekin, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us here before the series.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Absolutely, man. So I know this has to feel good reaching it to this point. You qualified for the semifinals here a year ago, but unfortunately was not able to participate. How does it feel to know that you actually have made it to this point and actually can play this time around?
Yeah, it feels great to be back here. I remember I was having a really tough time not being able to go to last year's top 4 event, especially since it was a LAN as well. So yeah, it feels good being back in the top 4, and hopefully I can make it all the way here today.
Well, you've been amazing so far this season. You had those 2 sweeps to start out in the playoffs, 2-0 and 2-0, but now having to go against Temppanen, who was the number 1 seed coming into this one. What is your strategy going into this, knowing that you have another top player in all of Europe that you're going up against once again?
Yeah, we'll see. I actually think me and Temppanen has never played on this game yet, so I think my strategy will kind of, will take it as the series goes. I will start off just playing my game and see how that works out, and if I will have to make some adjustments, I will do that. So yeah, I'm excited to see how I match up against him this year.
Yeah, you mentioned this is the first time you guys have played against each other. Do you think there will be a bit of a feeling out period to start this game 1?
Yeah, it might be. I will just try to put the pedal down and try to put pressure on him at the start, and we'll see how it goes.
One more question for you, Ekin. I know that you obviously also one of the players that qualify for top 8 in Europe in the NHL 24 World Championships. What do you feel like having some positive momentum by winning the semifinals and potentially the finals could do for that big tournament here coming up in just a few weeks?
I think that would be a huge confidence boost, especially both Temppanen and Eki is going there as well. So some good results against those guys would definitely boost my confidence for that as well. So yeah, hopefully I can bring my level here today.
Hey, well, we'll see if you can get the job done, my friend. Thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us, and best of luck for you.
Thanks, guys.
All right, great stuff there from Ekin and Soplio. You know, Ekin, as he mentioned, looking to kind of get some of that momentum, but it's interesting, him and Temppanen never playing against each other once before. That's going to be a really interesting wrinkle here in the series.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be interesting to see how they start playing the series out. As if there's a new
Yeah.
opponent, it's always a little bit different, as you don't really know what to expect from your opponent. But we'll see how it plays out.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. And we're now going to hear on the other side of the spectrum as we have Temppanen joining us. We just got to hear from Ekin. Now we'll hear from the number 1 seed in this tournament. Temppanen, thank you so much for taking the time to chat here before the series.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah, so we were just talking about how it's going to be interesting. You and Ekin, two of the top players in Europe, but the first time you guys are matching up against each other. What are you kind of looking forward to here with this matchup, knowing what's on the line and everything, too?
Uh, I'm not really sure what to expect in this series. I know Eken is of course one of the top players, so it's gonna be hard to beat him, and I hope I can do it.
Absolutely. Well, you've been dominant really so far this season. 7-0 during the group play, a sweep in round 1. Had to play against a really tough quarterfinals matchup in Artutio in the quarterfinals. How do you feel like some of that success that you've had prior in this tournament can help you here today?
I think my confidence is very high at the moment. I've played against guys like Artuccio and beat him, and yeah, it gives a lot of confidence for today.
Absolutely. Just one more question for you. I know you made it to this point during the spring season last year, just barely got knocked out in the semifinals against Zuvi. What do you feel like that experience last year can help you in this year to maybe get a better result?
I think I have to play uh, my top level in the whole series. I can't give any free goals and things like that. So yeah, that's kind of it.
Well, it should be fun to watch, man. You and Ekin, always so fun to watch. First time you're going to go up against one another, though, should be really entertaining. Templeton, thank you so much for taking the time.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, big thanks to both Ekin and Templeton talking to us. Big ask there right before these games as they try to get ready. But you heard both of them feeling pretty good, feeling pretty confident, and really, Soplio, the number one thing that they both said, staying true to their game and not trying to go too far away from that.
Yeah, that's definitely gonna be very important in this, especially in these big games where like you are a little bit nervous maybe at the start. You just have to get like your own gameplay like going. Just don't let the big pressure get to you at this stage.
Yeah, and as we mentioned, these are two guys that are not unfamiliar with that big stage. The stage is only going to get even bigger. As we mentioned earlier, 3 of our 4 players in this tournament have qualified for the NHL 24 top 8 for the World Championship. So these guys on the big stage here today, they'll be on the big stage here in a couple of weeks. As we'll once again remind you of the head-to-head. We'll have both of our semifinals and our finals here today. Our first one, Ekin versus Temppanen. You get a look at the regular season stats, and Suplio, both of these guys, they're key factor the way they can put the puck in the net.
They've been incredibly like consistent throughout this tournament. I was looking at the stats, and both of them just have been playing really well throughout the tournament. So will be interesting to see how they clash.
Yeah, and something I think really stands out to me is that face-off percentage. Ekin at a little bit over 64%, while Temppanen at 54. Typically, you look at that 54% and you're like, wow, that's pretty impressive. But Ekin at that 64%, so high. Do you feel like that's going to maybe play a bit of a factor here in that big difference?
Yeah, that might be a big difference maker in the series as also that might be partly due to the team choices that they make. I'm not sure which teams they are using, but I would assume Eken has been using a team with a lot of players with high face-off ratings, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll be interested to see which teams they pick here.
Yeah, so we'll see how that ends up working out as we'll take it back over to us here in the booth. Puck drop here in just a couple of minutes as we'll actually go here for the playoffs just to kind of give you guys that look. And it's going to be interesting. These two players, as we mentioned, they already have qualified for the grand finals. All of these four are going to be playing again here in just a few months' time. But still, you want to try to make it to that final round, not just make it for the Euros, but make it so you can win it, so you can find your way to being that champion because that's that extra leg up that you have over your opponents.
Yeah, 100%. Both of these guys want to be winning this tournament here today.
Well, it'll be fun to watch here with some of these guys being big names that are not used to having to fall. So we're going to just have a few more minutes to wait before we can finally see who is going to take over that semifinals matchup. Slopely, I'm curious here on your opinion as someone that does play at the highly competitive level. In games like this, in series like this, what do you feel like typically is the biggest difference maker?
Well, you just really have to get a really good start to the games. You want to be able to get your own game going and not have like a slow start to games.
Well, we'll see if these guys can get a fast start to these games and a fast start to the series as you got a quick look at how things were looking on the team side of
On the wings. So, for example, Makar for Eken is playing forward, and then Morgan Riley is as well for Temppanen.
You just saw Makar get that shot on net there for Ekin, so already using him there to his advantage on that play as the puck's turned over in the offensive zone for Ekin, and Temppanen now takes over. Pressure just a little bit here as Temppanen tries to make a line change, does get it, and now breaks past the neutral zone. Nice move with Marner, passes it over, a shot on net, made a big save there. Did the goaltender for Ekin as Temppanen still applying a little bit of pressure, and he finally loses possession of it. Ekin now with it.
Big save made by Georgiev, which the goalie situation for the Avs is usually the biggest question of the lineup, as Avs, like skater-wise, the team is incredible, but the goal is a big question for the Colorado team.
Yeah, really good point. One of the few things that you don't have control over here with your teams is how your goalie is going to be able to perform. You can't really control the positioning he's in or whether he's able to read the plays the way you are. Luckily for Ekin there, made that big save. Otherwise, it would have been 2-0 Temppanen. As Ekin trying to break into the offensive zone, had a quick shot on net, but not any danger as now Temppanen will take over possession. Trying to evade the pressure of Ekin. He does so. 2-on-1 here potentially for Temppanen. Couldn't get the pass across, however. Now here comes Ekin. Stretch pass. 2-on-1. Shot on rebound. Wasn't there. McKinnon couldn't get a stick on the puck. Here comes Temppanen now on the other side. Bumped off of it immediately. And now Ekin once again creating a favorable situation. Has numbers. Holds it with McKinnon. Looking for some space. Tries to backskate it into the slot, but not holding on to that puck, and now Temppanen goes in on the other side. Gets it past the blue line. Scrum for it over on the boards, and it's Ekin that will end up coming out with that one. Just a little bit over a minute to play. Temppanen currently leading this one 1-0 in game one. This is a best of 3 here of our semifinals coverage, so game one, massive to put yourself in the driver's seat of the series. 7 seconds remaining. See if Temppanen can get a goal here to end things off. Cycling it around the O-zone. Needs to get a shot on. Tries to get one on with Timmins at the point, but it is blocked in front. And that will do it for the first 20 minutes of our coverage here today. And it is Temppanen, a 1-0 lead. And subtly, very back and forth. A couple of opportunities for both sides, but Temppanen the one to take advantage of his.
Yeah, Ekin definitely had the chances to have a goal in that period as well, but this time Temppanen only one on the board after that first.
As you get a look at Ekin there, locked in, focused here in this game, and had 7 shots on that compared to just 3 for Temppanen. So, as you said, he had the shots on that, just was not able to find that one that could break past Temppanen. But a lot of time left, and Ekin, as we mentioned, both of these guys, high volume goal scorers. Ekin coming in averaging a little bit over 5 per game. Temppanen averaging a little bit over 6 during group play. Ekin has it in the offensive zone, trying to get another shot on that there.
I have to also think about the fact that both of these players know how to play defense as well. It's not going to be easy to keep up with the scoring pace that these guys have been putting up during this tournament.
Absolutely. I feel like being opportunistic is going to be really important here in this game. You get those opportunities like those 2-on-1s and breakaways. Those are ones you have to capitalize on. And how did Temppanen score? It was on a breakaway with Morgan O'Reilly. So took advantage of the best chance he's had all night. He was able to give himself that early advantage. As Temppanen has it here. He's working it around on that cycle, trying to work his way to the slot, pass across, not able to connect. Nice defense there from Ekin, who, as you mentioned, both these guys very, very strong in their own end, as Ekin's going to hold on to that puck and stop it for the whistle. Both of these guys already securing their spot in the grand finals. 75 euros guaranteed each for both of them, but the further they go along, the bigger the prize pool, including making the finals and winning it if they are to get there. Ekin playing in these semifinals after not being able to make it this time a year ago. Temppanen playing in the semifinals for the second time. Made it in the spring season last year. Ekin has it now in the offensive zone. Backpedals with McKinnon. Has some space over to the right face-off circle. Tries to work it down low and finds Johansson. Johansson putting Truskin behind the net. Ekin working it around right now, looking for that first clear shot. Hasn't found it yet. Puck loose now, picked up, however, by Ekin, who gets past two defenders, trying to work his way past, but a big hit there by Temppanen. But he's not able to hold on to it as it's a 3-on-1 here in the offensive zone. Pass across. Nice defensive play there from Temppanen to break that up. He had Makar right on that right post.
Temppanen making the decision to neutralize the biggest threat in that position in a 3-on-1 as there is his second goal. Temppanen going up 2-0.
As defense turning in the offense for Temppanen, he works over to David Kampf on that backhand, and it just goes to show you how quickly these things can change. It looked like Ekin had a game tire right there, but Temppanen makes a defensive play, gets the puck, makes a play on the offensive end, and finds himself to that goal.
And Ekin was also trying to trip the player with the puck there in front, but somehow, some way, Kampf was able to get the shot off even while falling down.
It's Temppanen trying for that short side look. Save made by Gorgiev. Temppanen still with possession, however. Holds it with Kampf over at the high left face-off circle. Trying to work his way in front. Could not find the space to get that shot off, however, despite the nice move. Ekin now has it. Moves it over to Druin at the left side. Skates to his right. Holding. Shot on save made. Another save there made at the end. We talked about a couple of big saves for Ekin. Temppanen seeing his goalie step up a few different times so far today.
Yeah, Ekin able to get into some of those decent scoring areas, but hasn't been able to strike through. But Temppanen does for the third time.
That's that patented cross-crease play that you see so often, and who else but the leading goal scorer in the real NHL, Austin Matthews, to put it home, and Temppanen with a 3-0 lead in this game. And now for Ekin, you know, you can't get too frustrated, obviously. Still a whole series to play, a whole half of this game to play, but it has to be a little bit taxing mentally, simply considering he has played well, he has had the chances, but yet here he is down by 3 goals.
Just has to keep the offense going as he takes a penalty there, but just has to be able to keep his offense going and believe in the fact that he will score once he gets even more chances.
As a trip there in the neutral zone as Temppanen was trying to skate his way past the blue line, so that'll force Ekin on the penalty kill. Temppanen, the first power play of this series. As Ekin does have it, passes along the boards, and it finds his way to Cogliano, who dumps that on down, and it'll be picked up by Temppanen. Nice job there from Ekin, though, to kill off a few seconds of that PK. Just a little bit over half of it remaining. Temppanen holds it. Bumped off there with Matthews. Nice defensive play there made by Ekin, who will pass this up to Cogliano at the left boards. Nice little stop and go. Stops again, turns, gives it to Makar. Shot on net, save made. Another chance there for Ekin that's denied. Makar holds it for Ekin over at the right corner. Finds his way over to the point. Even strength now. It's a shot on net. Save made yet again. Ekin nearing that full pressure. We've yet to see either of these guys reach that full pressure. The possessions have been rather quick for both of these two players, but yet effective as well.
Yeah,
Ekin
both players
slowly
are
maneuver
looking
his way past.
Both players are looking for pretty straightforward scoring chances and doesn't really let the pressure meter go up too often.
Yeah, and that feels like more of a play style thing more than anything. You'll see some players want to play around with the puck a little bit to try to get that full pressure meter as high as it can. Obviously, the update made by EA just a few weeks ago that adjusted that full pressure meter, so not as easy to activate it as it was maybe back a month or two ago, but nevertheless, these guys looking for those straightforward chances, as you said, as Ekin cycles it around in the offensive zone. Shot on net, blocked in front, and here comes Temppanen on the other end. More than likely the last possession before the end of the second period here. 5 seconds remaining, has it with Morgan Riley. They can't do anything with it, gets it back for just a second. But it's turned over and now be slapped away by Ekin to end off this period. But a dominant period for Temppanen, 2 goals to increase his lead to 3. And once again, Ekin with chances, but not able to put that puck in the back of the net so far in this one. As you get a look at Temppanen here locked in, as these guys wasting no time to get past the intermission. They want to go straight into the third, and they will do so. As remember, a best of 3 in this series, so the winner of this one with 2 chances to punch their ticket into the finals later tonight. As Templeton has it after Ekin lost control of that once he got past the blue line. Takes it up into the offensive zone himself with McCabe. Pass across to Tavares. Couldn't get that one on cleanly. He gets the puck back immediately. Tried to skate his way to the slot. Didn't have anything. So here comes Ekin down the other end with McKinnon. McKinnon bumped off the puck from behind. But he gets it back over with Landeskog. Rantanen shot on. Save made. Ekin, he's gone for that little short side move so far. Has not gotten it to work. We'll see if maybe he tries to divert to something a little bit different here as this game starts to get late, down by 3.
Yeah, those sorts of plays where Ekin has been trying to score from the snipes just hasn't gone in this game. And for Temppanen, it seems like Temppanen is scoring off of every chance he's getting, and that's a great rebound.
Yeah, you mentioned scoring off of every chance he's getting. We've seen him do it in every way. We've seen him do it on a breakaway. We've seen him do a short side. We've seen him do it on a cross crease, and now he does it with a rebound play. A nice little setup there for Temppanen, and a 4-0 lead, a little bit over 15 minutes left. Kind of has to feel like for Temppanen, you don't want to take your foot too far off the gas pedal, but now defense really being the priority to not let Ekin get any chances, but he does right there with Valerian Nichushkin, just slowly works his way towards the slot, puts it in, and Ekin with exactly what the doctor ordered, a big goal. And what a shot right there. And simply, you see so often these top players love to get those shots off from that high slot area. Pretty much the office for a lot of these guys to put the puck on net when they can. Ekin able to work his way right there and get it. And boy, did he capitalize.
This year, those cutting to the middle, like far side snipes seem to be one of the best ways to score. So definitely gonna want to keep an eye on defense to not let your opponent cut into the middle like that.
So Ekin cuts that 4-goal lead to 3. We'll see if he can maybe cut it in half now to 2 as he works his way into the offensive zone. Holds it with Makar and swings it back up to the point. Skates it with Nichushkin. Shot on from around that same area. Save made off of the blocker. There's another shot on, a tip just goes wide. So Ekin's starting to cook here a little bit. Not a lot of time for him, but exactly what you want to see is there's still 1, potentially 2 games left in the series. He's hoping he'll be 2 if he's not able to make the comeback in this game.
Yeah, he definitely wants to get some momentum towards like going into game 2 as well here at the end.
Ekin trying to get it past his defensive zone. He's not able to do so as Temppanen regains control of the puck. Works it past the blue line. Gets past the defender. Goes backhand, holding it now. Trying to find a shot, and he does! Scores it with Bertuzzi, and just like that, Temppanen gets that 4-goal lead back that he surrendered.
The exact same play as Ekin scored to make it a 3-goal game, and Temppanen gets right back, gets that 4-goal lead.
You just saw the patience there on that play. He had a shot earlier that he could have taken, didn't really like the look of it, didn't feel like he had the angle or the space. Holds on for a few more seconds and finds his way to a better look, and you just feel like the patience of a lot of these top players is typically one of the main attributes that all of them seem to share.
Yeah, 100%. They want to not be wasting any of their chances by shooting it too quickly.
As Ekin has it in the neutral zone, just a little bit over 6 minutes remaining here in this one. Temppanen looking on his way to a Game 1 victory, 1 win away, hopefully, for him from a finals berth. Ekin going to look to put a stop to that. Temppanen has it now, gets it into the neutral zone, and gets it over to Bertuzzi to get past the blue line. Pass over to Tavares, back to Bertuzzi. A quick little tic-tac-toe play from Temppanen. He will get a good shot on, and Ekin will hold on to it, but a nice little look there from Temppanen in the ozone.
A little spinorama move. I love those. A little passing play back to the guy with the spin, and that time Georgiev makes the save.
Ekin wins the faceoff in the defensive zone. Mentioned his face-off number, one of the highest ones that you'll find in this tournament at over 64% at the dot. Wasn't able to do anything with it, however, as Temppanen immediately got it back, and he'll draw a tripping penalty at the blue line. So things go from bad to worse for Ekin. He'll have to man up here on the penalty kill to try to stop Temppanen from increasing this lead even further. Temppanen so far 0 for 1 on the power play tonight. Did not get a shot on net in his first attempt. It's really more of a power kill for Ekin. He had a shot on or two during that PK.
Yeah,
So he has it right now in the offensive zone.
Time on the PK, it seemed like it was actually all Eken, so let's see if he's actually able to get a goal on the board here.
As here comes Temppanen, spin move, tried to do a little spinning backhand to get past Georgiev, couldn't finish it, however, as Ekin now has it in the O zone. Less than 2 minutes remaining here in the third. Temppanen up 5-1, looking well in control of this one. He has it right now in the offensive zone, and gives it to Brody. Shot on tip in front and scores. William Nylander gets the credit, but it's the shot from the point from Brody that really started all off, and Temppanen able to convert on that power play to increase his lead. As you get a look at that close, looked like maybe the save would have been made, but that puck just kind of dribbles his way past the 5-hole of Georgiev. Nothing you can do about that there if you're Ekin. And, you know, you talked about this earlier, Sipple. You know, it's one of those things. You can only control so much. Those rebound plays are pretty much one of the things that you can't when your opponent's able to get that one on. You just kind of have to hope and pray that it doesn't find its way in. And unfortunately for Ekin there, it did.
Yeah, Temppanen is also really good at creating those chances for those tips or rebounds to go into the net, as his players are right in front of the net there as well, just like on the rebound play.
He's Temppanen with a couple more shots on net there, as he's not able to do anything with them, as Ekin controls it, and he'll just let this one go. A little bit of a slap shot over towards his own end, and that will do it for game number 1 of the semifinals. Temppanen comes out victorious with a 6-1 victory, and you know, you saw the stats there for just a quick second, just 12 shots there for Temppanen, but when you score on 50% of them, you're typically going to win.
Didn't miss many chances in this game, but he definitely, I would say Temppanen actually had slightly better chances, like in terms of quality in this match. So a deserved win, but a 6-1 score maybe doesn't tell you the whole game's picture.
Yeah, and you know, you just go back to the first 5 minutes or so of this game. It really felt like maybe this game was going to go in the way of Ekin in terms of the chances and the quality of opportunities. We saw Templeton not even really break past the offensive zone to start out this game. It was all Ekin. He started out with 3 or 4 shots on net, really was making Templeton work for things defensively, and then just like that, Templeton flips this game on his head with that big breakaway goal, and it felt like in terms of quality, it was all him from that point forward, as you mentioned.
Yeah, that's really what happened. Eken wasn't able to convert on his shots. He created a lot of like mid-tier chances that maybe could have gone in, and then Temppanen with a couple of goals was able to just take control of the whole game after that point.
We'll see if Ekin can find his way to some more high-quality chances. He's going to have to, as now a 1-0 series lead for Temp, and then one more victory for him will punch his ticket into the finals, as we will have that game too after the break. We'll have more semifinals coverage and finals coverage here today. You're going to want to keep it right here, twitch.tv/SportsGamerGG. A big thank you to our sponsor, Covalon Locker to see here for supporting us. Do not go away. We're going to take a short break. Game 2 between Ekin and Temppanen right after this.
Kato, tonne no. Vedä se. Onpa vaikea. Tuo ja tuohon ja kis. Ilmoittaudun mukaan E-hockey SM-kisoihin. 1-1 tai 6-6 joukkuekisa. Tää se oli ihan nättiä niinku oikeesti pelattu.
Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi. Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi.
Kato. Tonne no. Vedä se. Onpa vaikeeta. Tuoja, tuohon ja kis. Ilmoittaudun mukaan E-hockey SM-kisoihin. 1 vastaan 1 tai 6 vastaan 6 joukkuekisa. Tää se oli ihan nättiä niin oikeesti pelattu.
Hello, and thank you for sticking with us. B Major, Sopelite here with you as Ekin and Temppanen get ready to set things up for game number 2. Temppanen up 1-0 in the series. One more victory clinches his place into the finals. Sopelite, I'm curious on your opinion here. I know you mentioned Ekin not really getting those high quality chances compared to Temppanen in that game 1. What do you think are some ways that he can try to find his way to some better opportunities, knowing that if he loses, he's out?
Actually, like looking back at those game 1 moments, I felt like Eken doesn't really necessarily even have to change much about the game. He just has to be a little bit more careful in his own zone, limit those chances of Temppanen, and then get on the board offensively.
We'll see if he can do so. Temppanen won that first game 6-1. He's going to hope for a repeat. Ekin going to hope for that scoreline to go in his direction. Temppanen with a quick chance, and he scores on the backhand. 49 seconds in, you see the reaction from Ekin in your bottom left corner. Temppanen picking up right where he left off in game 1.
And for Eken, this is a really difficult spot, as yet again, Temppanen gets a pretty early lead in the game, but Eken just has to find a way to start like focusing on the game 100%, believing in the fact that he can win this game, which he definitely still can.
And you saw the reaction there from Ekin on that face cam. Always a joy to have those webcams up here on our streams. Just immediate sense of like, oh gosh, you've got to be kidding me. And now Temppanen is right back on the attack. Skates in with Matthews, got bumped from behind as it's held by Ekin there.
Strong start by Temppanen to this game, 100%.
So a quick score for Temppanen, a 1-0 lead in the game, a 1-0 lead in the series. Ekin wins the faceoff in his own zone and has a 3-on-2 situation, trying to work past the defenders, has it with Johansson. Gerard shot from the point, save made. Ekin not done, however. Still controls it, tries to get that cross-crease pass, but right in position was Temppanen, but Ekin still controls the puck. Works it over to the point. Skates in, skates back out, looking for space, gives it back over to the right side to Byram. Back to Gerard, over the left face-off circle, shot on! What a save made there by Jones. Gloved it, and he'll hold on for the whistle. Just 5 minutes into this second game of this best of 3, and we've already seen a multitude of chances here. First few we've seen for Ekin happening over these last 45 seconds. Temppanen has control of it, but loses it in the neutral zone. Good defensive play there made by Ekin as he moves it now into the offensive zone himself. Controls at the point. Skates right side and gives it to Rantanen over at the right corner board. Back up to the point to Landeskog. Skates inside, puck turned over. Nice poke check made there by Temppanen. And out here, Temppanen comes in a 3-on-3 scenario. Skates in with Tavares. Holds it at the high slot. Skates in over to the face-off circle. Behind the net now. Pass it behind him. Just looking for that first option he can find. Ekin taking away the space in the middle. Temppanen looking to break it open. Gives it up to the point. Shot on net there from the right side. Save made. As Ekin regains control of that puck, but it's turned over immediately. Temppanen now has it. Shot on blocked. Near disastrous play there for Ekin, turning it over right in front of his own net. But he now controls it as we are halfway through this first period. Ekin working his way into the neutral zone. Gives it up over to the right side to Makar. Makar has it. Shot on from the high slot. Save made by Martin Jones. He'll hold on for the whistle. That's that high danger area that you mentioned that players love to shoot from there, Supply. Ekin tried to go for it there.
With Makar as well, just not able to find the back of the net.
Face off one in the defensive zone by Temppanen. Skates it in the offensive zone with the defenders and Riley and Klingberg. Klingberg holds it. Tried to protect the puck there, but couldn't hold on. As he's back to Temppanen now. Ekin costs the turnover and now skates it up into the neutral zone. Also, if Makar tried to put a slap shot on, it looked like, but he lost the puck, left it behind him on that attempt. And Ekin now has to try to break it back in past the blue line. Can't do so. Nice pick there from Temppanen to take that away. As he now gets to the offensive zone. Pass across, shot on net, save made. Temppanen still with control of the puck, however. Backhand in front, save made once again. Ekin gonna play this out, and Temppanen picks it up. Temppanen has it, tried to make a move right to that left post, could not make it work. But he still has possession. That puck now going to be taken all the way to the opposite end by Ekin. And we'll go for an icing with a little bit under 4 minutes remaining in period number 1.
Beautiful saucer in that play on the cross crease by Temppanen, but one-timer from the wrong side as a left-handed player from the left. Not able to score from it.
Stick left face off one by Temppanen in the O-zone. Shot on from Timmins. Looked like it may have been blocked in front. Ekin now tries to get out of his own zone, and he does. Has it with Druin at the right side. Holds at the board, stops, gives it down low to Lehkonen. Now at the corner boards, gives it back up to Druin at the face-off dot over at the right side. Pass to the point, but it's turned over, and here's a breakaway for Temppanen. He has Matthews, Temppanen, backhand, and he scores the third time he scored on a backhand on a breakaway, and it puts him up 2-0, and all of a sudden, things getting a little bit scary for the man on the bottom left in Ekin.
Yeah, these situations are always really tough calls. You let your opponent on a breakaway. Do you choose to go manual goalie? Do you not? This time Ekin bets on Temppanen predicting him to go goalie, but he doesn't, and Temppanen just finishes it off on the backhand.
And that's a great point. You see sometimes players will manual goalie, other times they won't. I've yet to remember a time at least where Ekin has done that. 3 breakaways that Temppanen has scored, and it's all been on that same backhand move. You wonder if another breakaway comes about, if he does decide to go ahead and take control of the goaltender, as a few quick shots from Ekin, all saved by Martin Jones. But look at the bottom of the screen. Full pressure activated here for Ekin. Could that be what he needs to get things going?
Maybe a couple more shots on net, make the goalie more tired, get the goalie moving around, get an easy goal like that. That could be one to go for here.
Shot on net from Makar at the high slot, save made, and that will end the first period. So not able to take full advantage of that full pressure opportunity there, but Temppanen taking full advantage of his opportunities. A 2-0 lead, a little bit over 4 minutes of time on attack. Both of his goals on breakaways, and this is exactly what he wants to see. Trying to go up 2-0 in the series. Well, he's up 2-0 here in the potential game clinching.
Yeah, Temppanen very strong on those scoring chances, and at the moment he's just getting much better quality chances than Eken. But let's see if Eken is able to turn this around.
And he controls the puck right now. Does Eken has it with McKinnon over at the left side. Gives it up to the point. Shot on net. Hit the boards. Temppanen now takes control of it. Tried to break into the neutral zone, but could not find anything. As that's going to be offsides, as Eken couldn't break past the blue line cleanly. Got to ask you here, Slopely, you know, Eken knowing his situation down in the series, down now by 2 in this game, do you feel like maybe the strategy for him has to change? Does he have to divert from his original game plan knowing the scenario he's in?
Well, it seems like he really just needs one goal. I feel like that would free him quite a bit, like mentally, and get to playing his own game again.
As a shot on net. Save made there by Georgiev. As Temppanen trying to increase his lead even further, working that puck in the offensive zone. Holds it with Morgan Riley. Has it now behind the net and works his way over to the opposite side. Passing to point. Shot on, save made, and Eken gonna play this out. He's done that a few times here so far as he has Devon Tays with the puck. Holds it, pass across. Nobody home, but it finds his way into Chuskin, who was a little bit behind him. Holds it with McCarr. Now with Gerard. Puck turned over, couldn't get any shots on that, and once again, Temppanen just holding Eken defensively, keeping him modest, not giving him those clear-cut chances. As the cross and a shot on. Looks like it may hit the skate there of the goaltender of Georgiev, but a nice opportunity there from Temppanen, and now here comes Eken on the other end. Holds it with Colton. Couldn't get that shot attempt to go in cleanly as it was blocked before it even really had the air to it. Temppanen now takes over control almost halfway through this game number 2. Temppanen leads by 2. If the score holds, he will be into the final to face the winner between Eki and Sisu. We will have that series right at the conclusion of this one. It's a shot on, scores with Tavares. Picked that short side clean, and Temppanen now increases his lead to 3.
Great short side snipe right there. Just finds the space right above Georgiev's glove and gets a 3-goal lead for Temppanen with that.
And it looks like Eken, who is the perspective that we are looking at here in this one, is going to make a goaltender change. So Georgiev out and in, and you see Eken shaking his head. He is not happy at all with the way this one's going for him. Thought that maybe should have been saved.
Yeah, that's a very interesting try. Get Annunen into the net. Annunen is a little bit of a bigger goalie compared to Georgiev, but possibly in other aspects not as strong, as he's quite a bit lower overall. But we'll see if Annunen is able to make some more saves.
Yeah, I believe that was a 77 overall that Annunen was, so we'll see if maybe the size can make a bit of a difference. I don't really personally think that Georgiev was a big issue for Eken so far in this series. Made some big saves for him on some good chances for Temppanen, but nevertheless, Eken being down 3-0 in this game, knowing that his chances of the finals are on thin ice, is trying to make any chance he gets to try to spark something here for himself. Temppanen now has it. Glove save made by Annunen there, so maybe not a bad move there based on that first shot on net.
Yeah, if nothing else, he at least gets like a mental reset, switching that goalie up, getting that timeout in.
Face off to the left side here. It's won by Temppanen. He holds it with Klingberg. Pass across, could not connect there. I believe that was Martyr he was trying to get that over to. Eken now takes over, tried to stretch past that over to the left boards, but could not hit his man in stride as Temppanen now takes over control of the puck. Another turnover there as a hit at the blue line. Eken gets past, gives it the Tays over to Johansson. Backhand, no room for that to go past. An easy save made there for Martin Jones. This Temppanen right now just not allowing Ekin to really get any clear-cut opportunities. It feels like that's been the story of this game, as a rebound opportunity not there. Great shot on that. One of the better plays we've seen from Ekin. Another shot on, big save made by Jones. Full pressure activated now here for Ekin. Needs to capitalize. Holds in the offensive zone. Has Ekin a shot on, another save made by Jones. Ekin still controls it. Has it with Devontae's. Passes to the point. 40 seconds left here in the second period as Temppanen just tries to get that puck out, trying to survive here as long as he can. Full pressure now no longer activated, but Temppanen's player still tired as a pass across. Goalie sprawling, slap shot from Devontae's at an odd angle, and he scores. Jones did as much as he could there for Temppanen on that play, but finally Ekin able to break through, and that full pressure was really what started it all. No energy for any of Temppanen's players there on that play.
Wow, what a sneaky slap shot play from the corner, as otherwise he wouldn't be able to shoot it from that angle. He winds up for the slap shot, moves the player into a shooting position, and is able to bank that off the goalie and in.
The high IQ of some of these guys to know the situation that they're in what is really a split-second decision. As you see that slap shot, Jones was almost able to slide over that left post, and it went off of the pad. So, you know, as you mentioned, if he doesn't take that slap shot, that puck is not going in the net. So for him to be able to make that decision in really what is in literally tenths of seconds, it just shows you the high level of IQ and awareness that players like Ekin, all four players in this tournament left, have at their disposal.
Yeah, the speed of thinking in these sorts of scenarios is just mind-blowing sometimes. That was such a quick find to go for that slap shot.
So a massive goal for Ekin to end the second period. That was exactly what he needed, but he needs a few more to tie this game and to potentially extend this series out to a game 3. It's a shot on net. Save made by Jones. As the goaltending becoming a little bit of a story here. The goaltending has been very strong for Temppanen so far in this game. It's a shot in front from Temppanen is blocked. Still has possession, however, with Matthews, as he was tripped, I believe, from behind. He was, and that's going to be a power play here for Temppanen. So exactly what Ekin didn't need, trying to garner some momentum for himself, and now Temppanen will have a power play.
The margins in these games, like, that is very close of a chance the other way, and back the other way, Ekin ends up getting a penalty, so he doesn't get back into the game, and now he has to kill off another penalty.
Face-off one in the defensive zone by Ekin. Gets past 3 defenders there to get that into the neutral zone. As Ekin not going to dump, he wants to go for the goal and kind of has to in this situation. Shot on from Byram. Save made, blocker side from Jones. Temppanen now has the puck. Gets it past the blue line. Holds at the point. Passes it over to Domi. Forces way in front. Pass across and they score. What a setup there from Temppanen. Finds Morgan Riley waiting. Puts it in, and just like that, he is back up by 3 yet again.
Holding on to the backhand and then finding a perfect pass right in the slot. Morgan Riley taps it in.
So a picture-perfect play for Temppanen, who won the first game 6-1. He's now up 4-1 here in this one. As now Ekin, things are getting late early here for him. He has got to find his way to a couple of goals and fast if he wants any chance to make this one tight again. Temppanen controls it here at the point. Works it down low, and it's picked away by Ekin behind the net. Tries to break past the blue line, but ran it in a little bit too ahead of himself. It's going to be called offsides. 14:43 to play here. Faced off in the defensive zone of Ekin. He wins it on the tie-up. Ekin gets it past the blue line, but not for long, as he's immediately bumped off of that puck. And here comes Temppanen now on the other side. Turned over right at center ice, but Temppanen gets it back. Bumped again. Now Ekin takes control of it. Works his way into the offensive zone. Chance for Ekin. Backhand save made. Puck loose over the left corner boards, and Ekin retrieves it. Ekin holding it over at the right side. Working it over now to the opposite end. Pass over to Ekin and poked away, and now here comes Morgan Riley for Temppanen. Turned over as now Ekin takes it as a bit of a calmer sense now of this game, as that's going to be offsides called against Ekin, and that's not what Ekin wants to see. He wants to see a little bit of chaos that he can hopefully take advantage of here, being down by 3.
The game slowing down definitely isn't what Ekin needs right now. He wants to create as much chaos on the ice as possible, get a couple of chances, hopefully convert.
Here's Temppanen, 3-on-1, shot on, sprawling save made by Annunen, who we talked about the goaltending change there for Ekin. Annunen's been pretty solid so far. He only allowed the 1 goal, but not really a lot you can do when it's a wide open cross crease. As Ekin controls it here in the neutral zone, trying to work his way past a trio of defenders for Temppanen. Puts the shot on net, his 20th so far tonight, but he's only had 1 goal here in this game number 2. Working around, shot on, hits the post and in. That's Mikko Rantanen, one of the best snipers you'll find over on that wing side. And Ekin cuts that lead down to 2.
Great pass, and then the patience to wait for the goalie to move from that far side post, and just great shot from Rantanen, and that's gonna go in 100% of the time.
So big play there, an efficient play that finds its way into the netting. 7 minutes left. Ekin still with some time to try to make some magic happen. Has control of it right now in the neutral zone, but nice job there from Temppanen, just harassing him to get that puck off of his stick. As a play across crease hits the back iron. It'll be held by Ekin, but Temppanen almost responded yet again. As you compare this game from the last one for Ekin, he had 17 shots on goal in game number 1. He has 21 already in this game. So shots on net, the volume has not been an issue for Ekin. It's been putting the puck in the net. He only has 3 goals on all of those combined attempts. Trying to change that here as a shot on from Makar. Blocked away. There was a little bit of space there on that blocker side of Martin Jones. Just better play made defensively there from Temppanen to not allow the shot to see the net. Ekin holds it. Pass in front, shot on, save made by Jones. Pretty routine save. As a little bit over 3 minutes left, and now Ekin gonna have to try to ramp things up here. Gets a little bit aggressive going for the hit, trying to force a turnover. Temppanen makes him pay on it. Skates in front, holds it over at the face-off circle at the right side. Our left as we look at Ekin's perspective of things. 2 minutes remaining. Ekin causes the turnover. He's down by 2. Has to get 2 goals here quickly to keep his chances to make the finals alive. Best of 3 series. Temppanen wins. He is in the last round. He controls it in the slot. Holds it with Morgan Riley. 30 seconds remaining. Just trying to drain that time as much as he can. Smart move from Temppanen. Holding on to it. Killing time. Holding on to it still. Ekin not able to get him off of this puck. Finally does as he throws it around, but a solid 90 seconds wasted there by Temppanen. 11 seconds. Ekin skates to into the offensive zone and can't find anything. Does get it back off of the turnover. Skates in. Holds it the left face-off circle, pass opposite side, nobody home. 2 seconds, Ekin will retreat, and that will do it. Temppanen with a 4-2 victory in game number 2. He wins the series in a sweep over Ekin, and the number 1 seed punches his ticket in the finals, and now he will watch and wait for the series between Sisu and Eki.
Actually, a very convincing series from Temppanen in terms of goal scoring and on defense as well. Ekin got a lot of shots on goal, but Temppanen was able to hold him off of those top tier chances, and that's the result. Ekin only gets 3 goals throughout the whole series, and Temppanen able to get those 2 wins straight up.
Yeah, that's a good point. You mentioned it, just 3 goals between the 2 series. And, you know, you combine the shots on net from this game with 23, shots on net in game 1 with 17. That's 40 shots. You only scored 3 times. You know, obviously Temppanen a very, very strong player defensively, but you just get the feeling, and you saw it in the webcam there, some of the reactions from Ekin. He felt like he had the chances, but the quality just never really there. While whenever Templeton had a shot, typically it was high danger. When Ekin shoots, or excuse me, when Templeton shoots, he rarely misses. And that feels like that was really the story between these two all series long.
Yeah, and that's gonna be a little bit frustrating for Ekin as well, because he definitely did get into those chances where the puck could have gone into the net, but this time he just wasn't able to get it. And Temppanen, on the other hand, was like very convincing, like didn't waste many shots, just seemed like he was gonna put the puck into the net every single chance he had.
Well, an unfortunate end for Ekin in the semifinals, loses in a sweep to Templeton, does get 75 euros. And remember, he is already clinched into the grand finals, as the 4 semifinalists here will play in the grand finals later on after the spring season. But they want to win the championship here in the present, and Templeton one step closer to doing that. A 2-0 series victory for him. He will now wait for the winner between Sisu and Eki, which we will have at the beginning of that series after we take a break. So you are not going to want to miss that one. Two of the best players in the world facing off in the semifinals, two completely different play styles, one of the young guns in the NHL community against one of the wily veterans in Eki, a multi-time champion. This one is going to be an absolute doozy. You're not going to want to miss it. B Major and Super Lee here with you. Do not go away. We'll be right back after the break.
Kato, tonne no. Vedä se. Onpa vaikea. Tuo ja tuohon ja kiis. Ilmoittaudun mukaan E-hockey SM-kisoihin. 1-1 tai 6-6 joukkuekisa. Tää olisi ollut ihan nättiä niin oikeesti pelattu.
Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi. Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi.
Kato. Tonne no. Vedä se. Onpa vaikea. Tuo ja. Kis. Ilmoittaudun mukaan EHOKin SM-kisoihin. 1-1 tai 6-6 joukkuekisa. Nää se oli ihan nättiä niinku oikeesti pelattu.
Thank you for sticking with us as we are back. Coverage of the ECL 24 Winter 1v1 semifinals and finals. B Major in Sopeli here with you. In Sopeli, we just had one amazing series, Temppanen defeating Ekin 2-0, and now we're treated to another amazing series, Sisu and Eki, a rematch of the semifinals. In last year's winner, two of the best players in the world. You told me off the air, get your popcorn ready because this one is going to be fun.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this, as I'm not sure if these guys have played in versus tournaments after that time, but in ECL 1v1 in last year's cycle in the winter season, they played in the semifinals as well. That time, Sisu won the series 2-0, but both of those games were 1-goal games, so really excited to see how it plays out today.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. One of the young up-and-comers that has already established his name in the EU scene and really throughout the global scene versus arguably the undisputed best 1v1 player in the world in Eki. And we will get to talk to Eki here in a few seconds as he gets ready to join us. Always so fun to hear him and his perspective, especially knowing that he is going up against another top player here in Sisu that he's sort of familiar with, but has not had as long of a history with either. As we will get that set up here now, and there he is. Eki, thank you so much for taking the time to join us here before the series begins.
No worries. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So we talked about it a little bit before you joined in. You and Sisu, two of the top players in the world. You met in the semifinals last year. It was a really close battle. What are you expecting here for this one, kind of knowing you guys' games and how different they are?
Yeah, they're different for sure, and got to give credit to Sisu. Over the past 2 years, he's been the guy I've struggled the most with out of everybody. I think I have like the worst record by far against him out of the top players. So yeah, he's been a tough matchup for me. We haven't played in a while. We haven't played this year in versus, so yeah, interesting to see how it goes.
Yeah, you mentioned Sisu, one of the guys you maybe struggle against the most. What do you feel like attributes to that exactly?
I feel like his counterattacks I've always had trouble defending against. He takes advantage of those counterattacks, and he's the best passer in front of the net in this game, like with those forced cross creases. And yeah, I've had struggles with that. Also, I feel like he's really been strong defensively against me. I feel like he's watched my games quite a bit, kind of knows what probably to do against me. That's how I feel, but yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and just one more question for you. I know you have the NHL 24 World Championship Top 8 coming here in a little bit. This being another big tournament, you're used to the scene, but with this game being so different, really one of the first big 1v1 tournaments you guys are getting to compete in, what do you feel like is going to be the difference maker in these big series against some of these other top players?
You know, NHL is so it's so small margins. It comes down to who has the best day, who has some luck on his side, who's more prepared, stuff like that, and who plays best, especially who plays the best in those big moments when it's a tie game, couple minutes remaining, who can keep their game together and find those winning plays.
We'll see who can find those winning plays. I think a lot of people are expecting a fun series. Maybe we get 3. I know the crowd is hoping so. Eki, thank you so much for chatting with us, man. Best of luck.
Thank you.
All right, always good to get to hear from Eki and Sopley. I think the biggest thing I took from that was hearing Eki say, if there's anyone that I struggle against the most, I think it has to be Sisu.
Yeah, yeah, it is interesting to see how this plays out, but I'm sure Eki has been preparing for this. He knew Sisu was going to match him at some point in this tournament, likely. And we'll see if he's able to defend against those counterattacks and at the same time get his offense going, as he said that he's also struggled offensively against Sisu's defense.
Yeah, and we'll actually get to hear from Sisu right now. So we get to see the other side of that spectrum as Sisu cues in to join us. As there he is. Sisu, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us here before the series start.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Absolutely, man. Well, I know you probably just heard it, Eki giving you some high compliments, talking about how you've risen over the past few years, but I know you also are looking forward to this matchup. What is it like to be in this stage once again, going up against the guy that a lot of people are saying is the top player in the world in the 1v1 scene?
Yeah, of course, it's always nice to play against Eki, and yeah, let's have a nice match.
Yeah, well, I know you're not unfamiliar with him. You guys met at the stage a year ago. You won that series 2-0, both by 1 goal. What do you feel like you're going to really have to do if you want to be successful here again today?
Of course, Eki is top attacker, so I have to defense good, and as Eki said, I have to, like, my counterattacks have to work if I want to win today.
Well, it's going to be fun to watch. Sisu, just one more question for you. I know that you have really risen through the ranks over the last few years, but for maybe those watching that aren't as familiar with you, what do you feel like really is the thing about your game that gives you that extra bit of advantage over some of the other players that you go against?
I think I have good mentality in, like, tournaments, that if I go down by a goal or two, like, I don't give up, and I just try to play my own game, whatever like is the situation. So I think that's why.
Hey, the mental game just as important as the physical game itself. Sisu, one of the best at. Thanks so much for taking the time, man. We really appreciate it. Best of luck.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, so we got to hear from both Eki and Sisu there, and Sisu mentioning something that I think kind of goes a bit forgotten about by some, the mental side of things. So important. I think that maybe for Ekin, we saw that in the last series. We saw him get frustrated a few times easily, maybe get out of his own element a couple of times possibly, and that mental side, this game can be very mentally taxing at times and very trying. That mental strongness, so to speak, or that mental strength, really important, especially in a series like this against an opponent like Eki.
Yeah, the mental side is actually like way more important than actually like the thumb skills themselves, in my opinion, because especially in these big games, it really does come down to like strategic things more than anything. And then on top of that, obviously, like how you're able to play in like tough situations when you're down a goal in the third, things like that.
As you see, these two are getting ready here now. Same matchup in terms of the teams we saw between Ekin and Temppanen. Eki going to go with Colorado, Sisu going to go with Toronto. So we're gonna get the same players, but different guys behind the sticks. And you mentioned it, Sopoli, to me before. Get your popcorn ready. This one's going to be very fun. And the biggest thing that's going to be interesting, the difference in play styles. Eki, a very possession-heavy player. Sisu, more of a guy that wants to take those chances wherever he can get them.
Yeah, the speed, it's honestly a no-brainer. Sisu taking the Colorado Avalanche, those super fast players on that team. He wants to be able to counterattack, wants to be able to score off the rush as much as possible.
As we are underway here for game number 1, we are looking at the perspective of none other than Eki, who, as you mentioned, using Toronto here in this one. Sisu going with that speed. As Eki moves this here into the neutral zone. As with Morgan Riley, who, once again, is at that forward spot. We talked about that a little bit earlier. Not necessarily playing guys at their positions, but just based on attributes where you feel they can best work for you. As that play goes offsides, and it'll be a face-off here in the neutral zone. Stick lift won by Eki. Moves it up to Marner at the left boards. Shot on net, swept away there by Georgiev for Sisu, who will now take possession. You already see that speed working in the O-zone quick. Has it with Johansson. A shot on net hits the post and out. Sisu already with a dangerous chance right there.
He was talking about those passes cross crease, but Sisu, if someone knows all these other ways to score in this game, it is Sisu. He knows all those snipes, far side snipes, short side snipes. He's gonna score with those as well if you're not careful.
As he tried to pass it across right there and hit the post, and it'll be held by Eki. So we're already seeing kind of the different play styles see themselves out just 5 minutes in. Sisu flying up and down the ice. Eki trying to kind of work that possession, slowly but surely passing his way to try to beat defenders as he does right here. He holds it at the point, has it at the right boards, and works it around opposite side, but Sisu beats him to the puck, but it's turned over immediately. Eki now regains it. Brody, the high slot, gives up to Domi, who skates in over right side. Back to the point now. Eki working that puck around. This is what he loves to do. Passing it around until he finds that slip in the defense. Thought he did right there, but a nice pickoff by Sisu. It's here he comes on the counterattack. Eki talked about those. Shot on that. Save made, and that right there, that's what Eki said he struggles against the most with Sisu. Those counterattacks that come so quickly against him.
Fast counterattack, little spinorama right to the middle, and a shot off. Just like that.
Face off in the defensive zone, won by Eki. Holds it with Liljegren. It's in the neutral zone. Tried to find that pass over the middle, but couldn't. And here comes Sisu on the opposite end. Couldn't hold on and make a play, however. And now Eki controls.
Eki on defense.
Eki in the offensive zone now. Holds with Marner at the left boards. Pass over to the point. Eki just working this puck around. And once again, Sisu collapsing heavily towards the middle, trying to take that away from him. Eki now behind the net. Holds it with Tyler Bertuzzi. Now at the left side, low face-off circle, bumped off the puck. Nice defensive play there from Sisu, not letting Eki get comfortable there in the O-zone. Jones to Johnson. Sisu controls it here, gets it past the blue line, holds behind the net, bumped off of that puck, and feels like maybe this game's starting to slow down just a touch as Eki makes a quick line change. Gets fresh bodies out on the ice. Morgan Riley has it. Eki holding it at the left corner boards, looking for an option. Sisu still taking the middle away. Eki not able to open anything up so far as that puck gets loose to Annunen, who is in net for Sisu. So we saw Eki make that change in the first series. Sisu going with the taller goaltender and Annunen as well.
I wonder if Sisu was
Eki's
watching
still
that last series and made that decision based on that.
Yeah, you have to wonder there as maybe that sparked the idea for Sisu. Annunen played pretty well there for Eki in the little bit that we saw of him, and he's been good so far in limited opportunities as Eki just kind of pausing his player there, a pass to the front and a shot on save made by Annunen. And that is where you see a lot of that time on possession comes from Eki. If he doesn't like a shot, he's not going to take it. He's going to wait for that perfect opportunity and then go.
He's really patient with the puck in the offensive zone, and he just finds those plays right there in the middle after cycling for a long time, and that time Annunen makes the save though.
As that attempt at the stretch pass goes awry for Sisu, will end up in an icing, so we'll do it all over again in the offensive zone of Eki. Face off to the right side. Stick lift face off won by Eki. He's been strong on the dot so far in this game. Shot from the point. Sprawling save made by Annunen. Domi couldn't get a stick on the puck. If he did, it would have been an easy tap-in goal. But here comes Sisu on the other end. Puck from behind by Yarncroft. And Eki regains, but how about that one right there? So close for Eki to getting that first goal. Has 20 seconds to try to find it here. Gets it into the offensive zone. Holds it to Nylander. Gives it to Riley. Shot on. Able to find his way past him. 4 seconds now. Eki holds it with Matthews. Can't get a shot on that. Sisu takes it away, and that will do it. A fun period of action in that first 20 minutes, and Supali, exactly what we expected. Two sides that are very different from one another, but nevertheless, very entertaining, very back and forth, and very, very even as well.
Exactly what we expected. Eki with a whole lot of time on attack was able to create a couple of very good scoring chances there. Not able to score. But on the other hand, Sisu with a couple of counterattacks that were also dangerous. So we have a very tight game at our hands.
Tight game on our hands, and we'll see who can maybe draw first blood here in this series. That's a best of 3. The winner will face off against Temppanen in our finals later here tonight. Eki controls it. Slowly maneuvering his way into the neutral zone and now past the blue line. Turns, looking for an option to pass. Works his way past Sisu. Shot on from that. A little bit of space, but could not get it off that forehand. Here comes Sisu on the counterattack with McKinnon. Pass across, nobody home. Picked off by Eki, who now has control of it and a little bit of space to work with. That's what Nylander gives it over to Riley left side. Holds, tries to get that shot on that, but there was nothing there. Klingberg to Tavares. Over at the point. Shot on net, tipped in front, I believe, there by Brody. It was saved by Andonen. Eki going for that tip. That's the second time we've seen him attempt that here today.
Yeah, oftentimes Eki does go for those tip plays when he sees a shooting lane and his own player is in front of the net. We'll see if Sisu is able to defend against that. That is a very tough one to defend against when Eki is shooting the puck from the point like that.
Tough to defend, you know, when that play gets set up. It's one of those things to where the goaltender, you're just going to have to hope and pray he doesn't let it go past them, because you can't really do anything once that play is there. You just have to defend it and hope that tip doesn't get off cleanly or that the puck doesn't find the stick of the player set up in front. Is nice and called against Eki, and an offensive zone faceoff now for Sisu. Stick lift won by Sisu in the O-zone. That's at the high slot. Works his way over to the corner board. Pass behind him, shot on. Save made from Jones, and Eki will play this one out. Holds possession and gets it over to the left side to Liljegren. Liljegren stops, finds Marner after he lost him momentarily. Tried to hit Tavares there in stride, cutting towards the net, but couldn't find him. And now here comes Sisu on the counterattack. Sisu with possession. Puck loose. Sprawling was Jones, but no danger there as the shot on was never present there for Sisu to capitalize on. Eki with a line change. That will slow things down. 10:45 to play here in the second period. Still looking for our first goal of this game. First goal of this series. Gabe holds it for Eki. Goes to the Yarncroc. Shot on, and he scores! Picked them clean on that blocker side. There was a ton of space, and Eki capitalized. He draws first blood. A 1-0 lead halfway through game number 1.
Yeah, great find in the middle. Sisu was slightly over committing to the player that with the puck, and Eki able to find the guy in the middle, and that is just a great finish.
And it's interesting how that play developed. It's really the first time we've seen Eki get spaced there in such a dangerous position. Another shot on net just goes wide. Perfect person shooting it as well. And Austin Matthews, but just not able to put it through.
Yeah, another thing to keep an eye on, the place where Sisu decides to make the aggressive play to try and get the puck off of Eki in his zone. Sometimes Sisu really waits out for long periods of time and then at some point makes the aggressive play trying to get the puck, but that time it didn't work out.
As you see Eki now in the offensive zone, broke that trap that Sisu had set up as he now works it in over to the high slot. Brody to Klingberg, back to Brody at the right point. Back to Klingberg, back to Brody, shot on net, puck loose in front, picked up by Eki, scrum for it, and Sisu ends up retrieving it, drew it. 4.5 minutes left here in this second period. Eki with the first goal. Trying to find a second pass across, couldn't get the shot off clean. He had Andonen beat on that play. Here comes Sisu now opposite side, but the pass not going to be retrieved cleanly, and Eki will give chase to it over in his defensive zone. 3 minutes remaining here in period number 2 as Eki draws a trip, and he will have a power play here with 2:46 left in the second period, so a big opportunity for Eki to potentially increase his lead. Face off to the right side for Eki, left side for Sisu. Sisu wins it in his own zone. Not going to dump it out. He wants to go for glory. He's going to have a breakaway. Sisu, backhand save by Jones. Puck loose. Finds it behind him, and Eki will hold. Danger averted for Eki on the power play.
There's that speed of Makar on the wing for Sisu. Gets that breakaway, but not able to finish quite.
Face off won by Sisu in the offensive zone. Gerard holds it but loses it. Eki has numbers. 4-on-3, finds Matthews. Matthews turns, spins. Eki looking for the shot but couldn't find it, but he gets it back immediately. Shot from the point, tip in front, and they score! They've been looking for it, and he found it. Eki with the tip from the captain, Tavares, and he increases his lead to 2. You talked about that play, Sopley. He's looked for it, he finally finds it, and he converts.
Yeah, there it is. If you forget about defending that tip for just a moment, Eki will go for it, and very often that puck is gonna end up in the net. But here's
Counter
Sisu.
from Sisu, and he scores on the backhand, and it happens just like that. We talked to Eki before. He said that's what he was worried about, and shows you why. It cuts that 2-goal lead in half. "40 seconds now. Eki in the O-zone. Can he find another? Tavares shot on. Save made by Annanen. 10 seconds now. Another chance for Eki. Holding it. 5 seconds. Brody. Tavares shot on. Save made again by Annanen. One more shot on, but not going to get it. Poked away by Sisu. And that will do it. We went from the calmest of calms to the most chaotic of chaos to end that second period. Eki up by 1, a 2-1 advantage, and look at those stats, doubling Sisu in both shots on net and time on attack here so far.
Yeah, what an electric period. Eki was really getting that puck possession up in Sisu's zone, but Sisu getting that clutch goal to make it a 1-goal game.
Let's see if he can tie this up as the third period is underway. He holds it with McKinnon and draws the penalty, so Sisu, after having a power kill, will now get a power play with the opportunity to tie this up.
Yeah, huge power play at this point in the series.
Holds with McKinnon across and he scores! McKinnon to Rantanen, and just like that, we are tied at 2.
Yeah, so fast it happens. It didn't take many seconds from that face-off to find that back post player.
That power play, I don't think, lasted 10 seconds for Sisu. He goes from down 2 to tying it up in a matter of just a few minutes of in-game play. Now Eki gonna try to find a response. He has a breakaway. That's Matthews. Holds his forehand, but can't get it off clean. The save made from Annanen, and Sisu will hold on for the stoppage.
Great poke from behind. I believe that was Manson. Just barely able to poke that puck off of Eki's player.
So the big defensive play made by Sisu from behind keeps this game at bay. Eki holding on to it at the point. Lost it. Sisu trying to get to it, but he can't. That puck will roll all the way back to the opposite side of the ice, and we'll do it all over again. Jagrin to Martyr. Skates down the middle. Eki controlling it. Eki holding it. Finding space. Shot on, and he scores! What a play by Eki! Working his way to the middle, putting that shot through, and he retakes his lead.
Great cut into the middle and gets a wide open shot far side, and Marner's not missing that one.
A back and forth affair. We told you all it'd be entertaining. Are you not entertained? We wouldn't lie to you here on SportsGamer, as these two go back and forth, blow for blow here in the last 10 minutes here of in-game play. Is a shot on from an odd angle, almost bounced off of the leg of Bertuzzi towards the net. It's a scrum for it down the corner board, and Sisu will win out that battle. Finds McKinnon, skates in past the blue line, but poked away by Eki immediately, who will now hold on. We'll get a line change. Pass up to the left side to Klingberg. Holding it, has lots of space to maneuver. Eki pass across! Oh, Nylander had space for the backhand, but Sisu poked it off his stick. A big defensive play there. And Sisu capitalized offensively now with it. Holding it in the neutral zone and gives it to Taves, who gets it past the blue line. Stops, turns in, behind the net and draws the trip. A great play there from Sisu. A picture-perfect possession that may not lead to a goal, but that is what you want to do against one of the top players in the world. Defense turning into offensive opportunity that leads to the power play.
The second opportunity to tie the game again on the power play for Sisu.
Yeah, you mentioned that he tied this game earlier 2-2 with a quick power play goal. He's looking to repeat that here. He holds it with Makar. Shot on and he scores! Kale Makar ties it for Sisu.
And there it is. The power play. 2 out of 2 on these last 2 power plays.
2 out of 2 on, I believe, just 2 shots. Sisu picture perfect with the man advantage, and we're knotted up yet again, this time at 3. Eki looking to retake his lead. Holds in the offensive zone, pass across, puck loose in front, another shot on that from Riley. Couldn't get it past Annanen, and Sisu takes over. Matthews now has it after the poke check from Eki. Eki holding it, looking for space, trying to find something. Works it to the high slot, still controlling Matthews here, shot on. Easy pass save, no one there for the rebound, and here comes Nichushkin. Sisu makes a move to get past the blue line, but turns it over, and Eki takes control of possession. He will now go for that line change once again. Cave controls the breakout, finds Yarncroc 2-on-1. Yarncroc pass across, he had the space, but it went wide.
But that was super
Sisu
close.
avoiding it there. Now here comes Sisu on the other end, 2-on-2. Druin pass across, defensive play made by Eki, but Sisu gets back to the puck. Bumped off of it now. And Eki now regains control. 5.5 to play, knotted up at 3 in game number 1. This is a best of 3 series. The winner will face off against Temppanen in the finals later this evening. I have the coverage for you right here after this series. Second controls it. Has it with Marner. Being patient, looking for that play. Skates across. Doesn't have the space, however, to do anything with it. Now here comes Sisu. Tired bodies out there for Sisu's forward line, and he's going to go ahead and ask for a change, and we'll get some fresh bodies out on the ice, and it's line number 1. McKinnon, Rantanen, and Landeskog. Less than 3 minutes. McKinnon has it. Gets in the offensive zone here for Sisu, who gets hit from behind. Nice play from Eki to bump him off that puck. 3-on-2. Eki has numbers. Eki with it, passing it to Marner left side, but it's poked away, and Sisu tries to dump it out, but it's picked up by Eki in the neutral zone, who will skate back and reset things. 60 seconds remaining. Fast minute here to end the third period. Could we see overtime? Eki to Matthews, shot on, save made by Anthony. Sisu finds the puck with McKinnon. 22 seconds remaining. Nichushkin hit by McCabe, but he gets it back to Sisu, but he turns over, gets it back again, shot on net. Save made easily by Jones, and the puck finds its way to Eki after that long rebound. 10 seconds. One more shot. Can Eki win it in regulation? Skates in with Riley right side, gives it to Nylander, pass across, puck loose in front, but Sisu picks it up, and Sisu will slap that away. Shot on net, brushed away by Jones. And ladies and gentlemen, the best words in hockey, playoff overtime against 2 of the best players in the world. What more could you want? And these 2 are going to waste no time getting back into it. 3-3. The winner of this one win away from punching their ticket into the finals. Sisu controls it. Bumped off of it with McKinnon, and now here comes Eki on the other end. Sisu had the numbers advantage, and he fully capitalizes. Bumps Eki off of that puck right as he crossed the blue line, but it's turned over. Eki has it. Shot on nearly, but he passes the Nylander instead at the post. Being patient, looking for that number 1 option. Holding it still is Eki with William Nylander. Behind the net. Looking for something. Sisu just manning down that middle of the ice as best he can. Eki trying to find the space. Swings it up to the point. Brody has it. Remember that tip play, something to look out for. Eki scored his 2nd goal of the game through that. We see it here if he doesn't find the space to pass in front. Holds it with Riley over at the right faceoff dot. His back turned to Sisu, who is manning it right in the middle, letting his defenders control Eki. Eki still holding it in the corner boards. Going for a Michigan there, boy, would that have been a play to win it. As Matthews still has it. Pass across. Could not find the man in front. Here comes Sisu now. Holding it with Landeskog. Now finds it over to Manson. 2-on-2. Makar. Sisu has it. Could he get a win here with a shot on net? In front by Matthews, but Sisu regains possession. Holds at the corner board. Shot on. Goes wide. Didn't come close to endangering Martin Jones there. But Sisu gets it back there in the corner boards. Pass across. Picked off and away by Eki, who will control this and bring it up the ice. Holds it with Bertuzzi at the right side. Pass opposite side to Navarre. Shot on! Glove save made by Andonen, and he'll hold on for the whistle.
Back and forth. Chances for both players here. Eki with that little back skate able to find that shot far side, but Andonen makes a great save on that.
So Sisu going to call the timeout here really quick. Maybe wanting to get some extra energy here for his guys. He's talked about Andonen. He has been pretty solid for Sisu so far. You saw the 15 saves down there on 18 shots. Zach controls a shot from the point. Went for that tip from Riley, but couldn't connect on it. Now here comes Sisu. As McKinnon gets the Landeskog, shot in front, blocked away by Klingberg, but Sisu still controls it. Rantanen with a shot on, saved by Jones, gloved it, held it in his chest, and Eki will freeze it.
Great poke there by Eki when Sisu passed that into the middle, saved that from being a goal.
Face off into the offensive zone of Sisu. Eki wins it in the defensive zone. Big face-off draw for him. Those are a huge component of overtime here, wanting to take that possession. Eki bumped off the puck momentarily, but gets it down low to Marner. Marner controls it for Eki, down low. Eki still searching for time and space. Remember, these two had an overtime bout in the semifinals last year. Sisu won that one and won the series, 2-0. Eki holds it.
Will we see a repeat of that, or will Eki be able to score this right there?
Eki trying to avoid that repeat. He has possession right now. Holding the puck, looking for space. Sisu denying him of it. Has it at the left corner boards, and he'll go around to Marner. And this is that play style we talked about for Eki, waiting for the clear-cut opportunity. Back to Marner, back to McCabe at the point. Liljegren, oh, he looked like he was going to maybe shoot from that high slot, but it was poked away by Sisu. And now Eki will dump this around his own end, and he'll look to do it all over again. 4.5 minutes to play. In the neutral zone. This is at the Matthews. Stops, goes, tries to pass it over right side, but it's picked off by Sisu before it could get there. Here comes Sisu on the counter. Nice defensive play there by Eki. Stopped it before it could turn into something. Eki now controls. Oh, maybe missed the pass there, that left side. He had a man open, streaking, but went to the right, and it was picked off by Sisu. And here comes Sisu. Turns, shot on, blocked in front. But Sisu gets a back play from the point, shot on, save made for Eki. He'll hold on, stoppage, less than 2 minutes to play in overtime number 1. We will go until we have a winner. And Eki will call a timeout here.
A great block by Eki there once Sisu was back skating into that high slot area.
And how about those stats? 5.5 minutes of time on attack for Sisu, over 22 minutes for Eki. Again, just the different play styles between these two sides. The slow and methodical Eki versus the run and gun style of Sisu. Which will prevail here in game 1 and in this series. Less than a minute to play. Sisu controls it. Finds Gerard. Has space. Stops. Looks. Pass across. Couldn't get it off clean. He was looking for Rantanen over at that left side. Here comes Eki on the counter. Can he find the play here? Holds it. Has Bertuzzi, back to Klingberg at the point, back to the Varis at the left point, 10 seconds. Eki looking for a shot on, needs to find something, 7 seconds. Eki turns, looks, holds, turned over. Oh, Sisu could have had a breakaway, but Eki got to it. Pow, a shot on, nearly tipped in front, but blocked. And that will do it. Overtime, not enough. We're going to do it all over again. Double overtime coming up.
What's better than 1 overtime? 2 overtimes.
And what's better than 2? 3, but we got to get there first. These two going back and forth, neither side able to decide a winner here so far. Eki looking to change that here. Moves it around the boards, but Sisu was the only one there for it, so he'll retrieve it and will start his possession. It's past the blue line. To Landeskog. Tried to pass it back, but nobody home. And now Sisu will have to reset, but he gets past the blue line quickly. Nice poke check there from Eki to get that off the stick of Sisu. Here comes Eki. Holds it with Matthews. Stops, goes, pass across, finds Nylander at the left side. And for a shot for the he scores! Eki wins it in double OT. A 1-0 series lead in an absolute thriller.
Wow, what a game. What a game. And Eki makes the deciding play, sniping that top corner with William Nylander. What a
Eki
goal.
shuts the door in his room, and he shuts the door on game number 1 as well. A 4-3 victory. And Sopoli, you mentioned it earlier. These are two guys that have such different play styles, completely different ways that they kind of like to find their ways to score. We saw that it full display there in that game number 1, but we also knew it was going to be close. 1-goal games in their 2 semifinals matches last year. What do you have it? They better at this time with a double OT to start this series out.
Yeah, this was pretty much exactly what we expected. Eki taking the control of the puck. Sisu actually very underrated, very tight defense in his own zone, not letting Eki into those high scoring areas until Eki was able to break through in that second overtime.
Well, Eki was able to break through. It was on that shot from the high slot with William Nylander, one of those X Factor players. We saw him looking for that shot a couple of times. Is able to break through at the most critical point. A 1-0 series lead in favor of Eki. Can he clinch the series and a spot in the finals in game 2? We'll have to wait just a few minutes to find out as we will go to break. B Major and Sopoli here with you. ECL 24 Winter 1v1 coverage. We crowned a champion here tonight. A shout out to our amazing sponsor in COVID on Locracy for their amazing support. Do not go away. Why would you with fun action like that? Game number 2 right after the break.
Kato. Tonne no. Vedä se. Onpa vaikea. Tuo ja tuohon ja kis. Ilmoittaudun mukaan E-hockey SM-kisoihin. 1-1 tai 6-6 joukkuekisa. Nää se oli ihan nättiä niin oikeesti pelattu.
Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi. Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi.
Kato. Tonne no. Vedä se. Onpa vaikea. Tuoja. Kis. Ilmoittaudun mukaan EHOKin SM-kisoihin. 1 vastaan 1 tai 6 vastaan 6 joukkuekisa. Näin se oli ihan nättiä niin oikeesti pelattu.
Thank you for sticking with us. B Major and Sopoli here for game number 2 in the semifinals matchup between Eki and Sisu. As you see what these two players are fighting for here in this one. They've already secured 75 euros so far here tonight, but they're going to try to go a little bit higher than that. That prize pool increases through the finals and will increase for the winner of the finals. And Soboli, we saw in that game number 1, double OT, not much separating the two. It's going to be interesting to see here if they can top that somehow.
Yeah, game of margins. Let's see. I'm really hoping we see a very similar game too. Maybe we get another OT here. Who knows?
Yeah, it's very possible. Eki gonna hope not. He wants to see this game end in his favor in regulation, looking to secure those 150 euros in that spot in the finals against Temppanen, who defeated Ekin in a 2-0 sweep earlier here today. As we are underway here for game number 2. We are still looking at the perspective of Eki controlling Toronto, Sisu controlling Colorado. Eki has it over to the right side with Matthews. Works his way past the defender and goes over to the corner boards. Holding. Looking shot on off the post and in. Austin Matthews puts Eki up in front to start out game number 2.
Austin Matthews cutting into the slot, and that shot is just so lethal when you get into areas like that. Eki able to make it 1-0 right away.
And you mentioned that little cut to the slot, just able to beat Sisu's defender on that play. Little stop from the right corner board, hit the slot area immediately, had that space, and made no doubt about it. A 1-0 lead, just a little bit over 3 minutes into this one for Eki. Let's see if Sisu has the response. Controls it now, has it over to Chuskin. Holds it, skates back. Nice little shot on, save made there, however, for Eki. A back skate move, something we've seen a few times here tonight. And Eki controls this. Holds. Stops. Looking for some space for the pass. Bump from behind off of the puck. And Sisu will hold it, look for a line change. And Sopoli, that's something we've seen a lot here so far from both players in this series. Constant line changes.
Yeah, the line changing aspect. NHL 24, which I like to sometimes call line change 24, as we see Eki changing his lines here as well. The players are constantly conscious about their players' energy levels. So anytime they feel like their players are a little bit too tired, you want to be making that line change and make your opponent make the decision of, do they want to forecheck, do they want to line change as well, or what do they do in that situation?
Absolutely, and remember the new stamina system for NHL 24, EA completely revamping the stamina system from years past. A lot easier for your players to get a little bit more worn out, especially if you're defending for a long period of time with the addition of full pressure. Eki currently holding it in the offensive zone. Shot on from Klingberg, save made by Onanen. Eki still has possession. Shot on, tip in front. Save again made from Onanen, but Eki still has possession. Inching closer to that full pressure meter with every shot he takes. Onanen a little bit tired here for Sisu. Something to look out for here, the goaltender for him. Eki just holding it behind the net, looking for something to open up. Gives the Klingberg at the point. Pass across, defended well by Sisu, and he will finally get it out of his own zone. Has Druin, who has some time and space, but no energy to use it with. Pass across, save made by Jones. A beautiful play from Sisu, but a better save there for Eki. Eki's player is a little tired now. Trying to get out of his own zone, and he does with the pass to McCabe. He was waiting for that line change, and Sisu pounced there, trying to cause a quick turnover. Now Eki has it in the offensive zone. Turned over. Puck finds its way to Sisu, but immediately turned over after the big hit on Nathan McKenna. Eki holds and gives it up to the right side to Nyes. Nyes back to McCabe. Eki continuing just to cycle this puck around, waiting for the opening to strike. Has it over the left corner boards right now, goes behind the net, holds it, stops, looks. High slot shot again. This time is saved by Onanen blocker's side. Eki still controls possession. 2.5 minutes to play. A tip in front nearly. Save made, swept away by Onanen, and here comes Sisu on the other end now. It's in the neutral zone, but it's turned over. Here's a 2-on-0 for Eki. Pass across it, he scores! Kampf gets the finish for Eki, and just like game number 1, a 2-0 lead for Eki to start this game out.
And there we see Sisu's players were changing lines middle of that play. Eki with a lot of pressure in this one, able to create a lot of shots in the offensive zone, tiring out Sisu's team, and just gets caught on a bad line change there.
And that's where that play style of Eki can really work to his advantage, even when he's not scoring on it. It just wears you out defensively to have to keep with him for so long in the defensive zone. Tires you out. It did right there for Sisu. Had that line change, and when the puck got turned over, it gave Eki a clean 2-on-0. Eki with a couple of chances there to end the period, none making its way past Sisu, as that'll do it for the opening 20 minutes of game number 2. Eki with a 2-0 lead here in this one, and once again, same thing holding true. Eki, a lot of time in the zone, a couple of shots on net. Sisu, however, not as many chances as we saw from him in that game 1.
Yeah, Sisu hasn't really started getting those offensive chances just yet, as he has just drawn a penalty and is going on the power play. Maybe this will be his first opportunity of the game to actually get on the board.
Yeah, that's exactly what the doctor ordered for Sisu. Needed to find something to get some momentum. He scored twice on the power play in game number 1. He's going to hope for a similar result here in game number 2. Eki currently controls it, tried to find Marner, who had a lot of space there if he could get that pass through the middle of the defenders, but wasn't able to do so, and now Sisu will take over. Rantanen on the pass from McKenna. Now over to Landeskog. Holds it, backhand forehand, shot on, save made. It's a puck battle for it down low, and Sisu will be the one to come up with it. Sisu has a pass across, and he scores! Rantanen on the cross-crease pass, converts for Sisu, and cuts that Eki lead in half.
Yeah, just finds that player in the slot. The defender of Ekis wasn't quite in proper position to pick that one off. And Sisu will make it a 1-goal game.
He's overcome 1-2-goal deficit. Can he do it again here? Sisu has a shot on! Save made by Jones, and Eki will freeze.
Those little off the side of the net passes are also something that Sisu is incredibly good at. He's able to find those sticks in front with just a little skate behind the net and finds the.
He scored on it a couple of times here so far tonight.
Yeah.
Really good point there is Sisu wins the offensive zone faceoff. Shot on from the high slot, save made from Eki. He'll play it. Throws it to Liljegren. Passes over to the right side, now over to Matthews, who skates through the middle. Turns, gives it back. Eki looking for something, passed it over on in there, but he gets it back. Shot on from Riley, a spinning shot. No danger there, as here comes Sisu using that speed of Cale Makar. Shot on, blocked manually there by Eki. A nice little crouch block. It's not something we see super often, but Eki, one of the smarter defensive players that you'll find. To get in front of that lane and make a play.
For that snipe and makes the crouch block.
Eki controls in the offensive zone, passes it back, puts it at the right corner. Looking for space. Pass across, nobody home. He was going for Riley, but a nice drop there for Sisu. Using Bowen Byram to get in the way of that one. Line change for Sisu and for Eki. Has some space here to Sisu as he gets into the offensive zone. Stops, turns, holds it at the point. Looking for an option. Nice play there from Eki defensively to get him off of that puck, and now he'll take over possession. As a double pass there from Eki at the blue line will lead to an offsides. A 2-1 lead for Eki almost halfway through this game, but it feels like the tie is starting to turn here a little bit in favor of Sisu here, Sopoli.
Yeah, wasn't Eki up 2-0 in the first game as well? Do we have a little bit of a repeat of that going on here?
Maybe a little deja vu as Sisu. Oh, he had a chance. The puck was nearing that red line, but it just went a little bit wide. Sisu still possession. Shot on, another shot on. 2 saves made. Eki with it. He's just going to go ahead and dump this out. He wants no part of that possession, and that'll lead to an icing. But again, the tide's turning in favor of Sisu, and if you are Sisu Sopoli, you just kind of feel like you're so close. You're right on the cusp of finding that tying goal.
Yeah, stressful times for Eki right now. Sisu is finding his offense right now.
He knew this was what he was getting into. Said before the series we talked to him that Sisu is the opponent he has struggled the most against in the few times they've played. He's up 1-0 in the series, but still a lot of work to be done if he wants to clinch his spot into the finals here tonight. Temppanen waiting on the result of this one. Sisu controls it with Gabriel Landeskog, and he'll give it over to Taze as Sisu gets it past the blue line. Nice patient possession here for Sisu, but it's turned over, and Eki has numbers, a 3-on-2. Gives it to Domi at the left side, pass opposite side to Nyes. Finds a trailer in Yarncroc, who will stop. And Eki will now slow down and go back to that slow and steady possession game.
We see the line changes kicking in as well.
Something we've seen a lot here. We'll continue to call those out here as we see him. It's become a really big factor for both of these players. That second goal from Eki, a product of a line change made from Sisu. You've seen the massive impact that it's made here tonight. Shot on! Pops the bottle and puts the puck in the back of the net. Klingberg scores for Eki on a beautiful snipe. And that lead now back to 2 here for him.
Great goal, and I do want to say that a part of that goal was Eki being able to change all of his offensive players while keeping the puck in the offensive zone. He gets those fresh legs onto the ice and then is able to get on the board.
And Sisu calls the timeout here as he surrenders one late in the second. Eki maybe not done, has in the offensive zone. Passes to the point, and Brody will skate it up a little bit and pass it behind the net. Eki holding it with Morgan Riley. Looks, waits, pass back. Oh, he tried to go for that quick pass over to Brody to rip that shot on, but he couldn't connect. It was a little strong as he trips up Sisu, and now Sisu going to have a power play opportunity down by 2 late in the second period. But remember, fast minute here at the end of the second, so going to be a little bit of a shorter power play here for Sisu.
Yeah, those tripping penalties are really haunting Eki right now. I believe all 4 of the penalties he's taken in these games have been trips.
And Sisu has been borderline perfect so far on the power play. He's 1 for 1 tonight as a penalty now against Sisu, so that's going to actually even the scales. We'll get the rare 4-on-4 scenario here for the remainder of this period, just about. 17-second difference between the power play time and the clock left in the second period. As Eki controls it. A lot of time and space. This goes to his advantage with the way he likes to hold that puck. Eki just waiting, trying to find that turn. Power play now for him. 10 seconds. Nylander holds it for him. Eki, 5 seconds. Needs a shot. Waiting. Turns. Oh, he had a look, but he just couldn't get it on that cleanly. Pass in front. Puck loose. No danger to Sisu. And that will end the second period. Nearly a 4th goal there for Eki to end that second period. Just couldn't find it, but nevertheless, a solid period there for Eki. 2-goal lead as he looks to clinch this series. As we are back underway. These guys wasting no time in the intermissions. They want to get right back to it. As the power play unsuccessful for Eki, Sisu gets his guy back on the ice as the puck was loose under the pads on it, and he's able to recover. Hold on. Look at those time on attack numbers. Eki once again controlling the game in terms of possession. Over 13 minutes of time on attack. It's just around 4.5 for Sisu. Eki wins his own face-off. Holds it with Brody at the point, and he passes over to the opposite side to Bertuzzi. Now to Tavares. Eki pressured by Sisu, but he still holds on to the puck. Finally, he's able to lose it as Sisu regains possession. 3-on-3. Not able to find anything. Good defensive play there from Eki as he stepped up at the blue line. Sisu still has it, however. Gets a pass. Pass in front. What a save made by Jones. Sisu still holds on to the puck here, trying to find his way to cut this lead in half. Has to win this game to stay alive here in the series. He holds at the point, goes down low now. Stephon Tays controlling it for him. Puck battle in front. Sisu gets it, but it's turned over immediately, and here comes Eki with numbers. 3-on-2. 2-on-3 now as Eki made a line change. As we talked about, the line changes have gone to Eki's advantage. That one may have hurt him a little bit. Went from having a potential favorable advantage in terms of the men with him to having a disadvantage. He breaks into the offensive zone. It's turned over, and now Sisu will counter on the other end. Nice job there from Eki, bumping Sisu off of that puck. Still regain possession. It's turned over. Breakaway for Sisu. Manual goalie flying poke check. What a play by Eki. Sisu still controls it, however, so his job not done. Pass in front. Save made. Another save made off of the side of the net. What plays made by Eki in his own zone. But Sisu still applying pressure. He's been a little bit tired, but he has possession. He has to capitalize. Makar holds it here for him. Sisu slows down. Gets up to the point, turned over. Now here comes Eki on the counterattack. 3-on-3. Eki with Matthews. Maneuvering his way past. Gives it to Riley. Shot on just a little bit wide. And an offsides to be drawn against Sisu. But how about that hectic last 3 or 4 minutes, Sopoli? Back and forth. You thought maybe Sisu was going to cut the lead in half, but Eki takes matters into his own hands with that manual goaltender.
What a sequence of events. Seemed like Sisu was surely about to score there, and then at the last moment, Eki able to save it with the goaltender.
Eki with control right now, up by 2 with 8.5 left. If he wins, he clinches his spot in the finals and will match up against Temppanen. Eki at the point. Gives the Domi. Oh, he had a chance there. Sprawling on it in there. Eki not able to capitalize, and now here comes Sisu on the other end. Holds it in the neutral zone. Takes his time as his players go for a line change. Breaks it past the blue line. It's turned over, and here comes Eki now. 1-on-1, Yarncroc with speed. Eki bumped off the puck. Great play made there from Sisu on the defensive end, and here he comes on the counterattack. Eki talked about these, but he's defended them well so far. Pass in front, not able to get the shot off clean. And Eki will now take possession. 5 minutes remaining. Can Eki hold on? Turned over in the neutral zone. Sisu now takes possession. Turns, spins, looking for space as he made a line change. It was a 3-on-5 pretty much there. Again, the line changes, you can't stress enough how big of a factor they've been here in this series. Eki has control. 3 minutes left here in the regulation. Eki just trying to slow things down, and you feel, Sapoli, that his play style perfect for a situation like this. It's a shot on net, save made there by Onanen. Less than 2 minutes now. Turned over. Sisu's got to find possession if he wants any chance in this one. He has it now. Has it with Byram. 2-on-1. Holding. Pass across. Play made by Eki. Was just there defensively and got in front of the pass. Less than a minute to play. Fast minute here to end this third period. Eki controls it. 30 seconds now. Pass to Brody. Backhand, and he scores! Eki with the kill shot. Up by 3 with less than 30 seconds to play. And it looks like he is going to punch his ticket to the final round here in this 1v1 ECL 24 winter tournament.
Great defensive play in the other end by Eki, and then ices the game by putting this game away. 4-1 to him.
He may not be done. He holds it in the offensive zone right now. Pass in front, nobody home. Sisu will pick it up. 5 seconds remaining. And Sisu will call off the dogs. He'll just skate back, pass it away, and that will sound the final buzzer. Eki, your winner, a 2-0 sweep over Sisu. He avenges his loss to Sisu in the semifinals last year. That was a sweep as well. And the first time that these two met in the semifinals where it was not a 1-goal game. You look at the shots, they both had 11, but again, just the time on attack there for Eki and the quality of his chances, really the big difference maker here in the series.
Yeah, Eki very convincing in the second game. The first one seemed like anyone's game, and Eki was able to win that in that double overtime period. And then Eki comes into game 2 looking very solid, gets the first goal on the board right away. And after that point, well, only one goal against. Very solid defensively and 4-1 win.
Very impressive there for Eki, as now he will turn his attention here for Temppanen as our finals are set, and you won't have to wait very long to see them. Eki versus Temppanen, a best of 3. The winner taking home 500 euros here in this one. They've all clinched their spot here in the grand finals, but like I said, you want to be crowned the champion at the end of the day. Eki looking to build on his already illustrious resume, while Temppanen looking to bring home a title for himself here as well. A shout out to our amazing sponsor EkiOriginal, to see all of their amazing support for all of our ECL coverage, and a big shout out to our producer Iro behind the scenes and everyone here at SportsGamer is helping to make this happen. We're going to take a short break here as we collect ourselves and get things ready here for our final series. We will be back here in just a few moments, so do not go away. Two of the best in the world getting ready to face off for the right to be crowned the ECL 24 1v1 champion for the winter season.
Kato. Tonne no. Vedä se. Onpa vaikea. Tuo ja tuohon ja kis. Ilmoittaudun mukaan E-hockey SM-kisoihin. 1 vastaan 1 tai 6 vastaan 6 joukkuekisa. Tää se oli ihan nättiä niinku oikeesti pelattu.
Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi. Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi.
Kato, tonne no. Vedä se. Onpa vaikea. Tuo ja tuohon ja kis. Ilmoittaudun mukaan E-hockey SM-kisoihin. 1 vastaan 1 tai 6 vastaan 6 joukkuekisa. Nää se oli ihan nättiä niinku oikeesti pelattu.
Welcome back, and thank you for sticking with us. B Major and Sopoli here as we get ready to set the stage for our finals here in the ECL 24 Winter 1v1 as we have two of the best, not just in Europe, but in the world. A finals rematch of the NHL 23 GWC European Finals. Sopoli, this is going to be an absolute thriller.
Another series that is like very tense as a rematch of last year's European finals in GWC, and these two made it to play in North America as well last year, so super excited to see what this series has to offer.
Yeah, you want to talk about how great these two are. They both made that trip to Nashville for the GWC World Finals, but you talk about how they made it to these finals, and here's a quick look at how they each got there. Temppanen slated at the #1 seed, had a tough series with Artuzio, who was one of the defending champions of these tournaments last year. Got the job done, however, in 3. Matched up against Ekin earlier here today, swept him in 2 games, while for Eki, it's been nothing but perfection for him. A 2-0 series victory in the quarterfinals, and then as we just saw a few minutes ago, defeated Sisu at the 3 seed in a 2-0 sweep as well. As we will have Eki join us here in just a few seconds. We'll get to talk about him and Temppanen as here he is once again. Eki, thanks again for taking the time to join us, and congratulations on making it into this final round.
Thank you.
Well, you get this chance here against Temppanen. I know you guys are obviously plenty familiar with each other, but I think one thing that's going to be interesting is that having a different play style that you're going to have to adjust against here in just a matter of a 10-minute difference, going from the flying pace of Sisu to more of a more balanced approach is similar to yours in Temppanen. How are you going to look to adjust to that here in such a short time span?
Yeah, against Sisu, he always allows you to get the puck possession, but Temppanen is kind of the opposite. Actually, he plays differently to me, but he has a lot of like similar ideas of how he approaches the game. So yeah, interested to see how this goes. We played during the past year in the biggest possible stakes on the line, and yeah, we played each other plenty of best of 3s. It usually has gone to the final game, so yeah, will be an interesting matchup for sure.
Yeah, I think I can say that there are over 200 people watching that are glad you said that and are hoping that will happen here again, hoping for that third and final decisive game. You mentioned you two matching up there on the biggest stage last year. You were able to get the victory in that series. What do you feel like you're going to need to do to get the victory here in this one here?
Yeah, good question. I've been really comfortable with my gameplay recently. During the past couple of weeks, I've honestly felt like I've played the best since I've been playing since NHL 21. So I'm feeling really confident, but at the same time, Temppanen is a good friend of mine. We speak quite a bit. I know he's at a really high level as well. So yeah, really interested to see how this series goes. And yeah, we will play each other in the European Championships in 2 weeks, 3 weeks as well. So this is kind of a nice warm-up match, as you might say to that.
Hey, a warm-up match, baby, but some high stakes still. One more question for you, Ek. You don't want to take up too much of your time here before this big series. You know Temppanen well, as you mentioned. You're both good friends, so you probably know some traits here between one another. What is it most specifically that you think you're going to be looking out for on his end?
Well, he's probably listening to this interview, so I'm not going to give away too much here. But yeah, I think if I'll play my A game, I'm confident I will get to win.
Keeping the cards close to his chest. Can't say I blame him even a bit. Eki, thank you so much. Best of luck to you, my friend.
Thank you.
Alrighty, great stuff there from Eki. Always fun to get to talk to him there. And, you know, he talked about it. Him and Templeton are very good friends. They've battled on the biggest stages in the past. And here they are yet again battling in a finals. And he said he wouldn't be surprised to see a best of potentially go all the way to 3. I know we both agree with that too. I'd be happy to see it.
Yeah, they know each other off the ice and on the ice. Like this is gonna be just pretty much a coin flip. Whoever is in like better game day and in a better vibe at the start of those games is gonna have the upper hand here.
Well, Templeton hopes that's going to be him, and he now joins us here. Templeton, thank you so much here for taking the time here to chat with us, and congratulations here on making it to this point.
Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely. You got that big sweep over Ekin earlier. Another really high-end opponent, but you've gotten to sit around and wait here for about an hour. Do you think that's something that could go to your advantage, kind of getting to see that series between Eki and Sisu? Or do you feel like maybe Eki has that advantage going to continue that momentum going there from that series that he just wrapped up?
Yeah, I think Eki has a bit advantage, maybe at the start of this series, but I'm still ready to play, so that's not a big thing for me.
I asked him the same question, so I'll ask it for you as well. You guys so familiar with one another, and you've played on that biggest stage. What is it that you feel like is going to make a big difference here between these two that can maybe give you the advantage?
I don't know actually. We have a pretty similar play styles, and our games have been really tight in this NHL. So let's see how it goes tonight.
Absolutely. One final question for you. As we mentioned, you guys faced off in that European final for the NHL 23 GWC. You both got to travel to Nashville, made that world final. Eki did get the best of you in that one, but is there anything from that series or the series that you guys have played since that you maybe have learned that can help you here in this one?
I don't know really. I'm just trying to play my best game in every game. So I hope my level is enough to win today.
Well, hey, man, you've been playing at a high level for a while now. It's been enough to win up to this point. It's going to be a really fun series to watch. Temppanen, thank you so much for taking the time, and best of luck to you.
Thank you.
Alrighty, a big thank you once again to both Eki and Temppanen as we take a quick look at head-to-head for these two out the playoffs. Temppanen, you know, the goals for on average 5.2. Eki just a little bit higher at 5.7, but really all across the board, outside the games played, these stats are very, very similar to one another.
Yeah, I believe Eki doesn't have the last series updated to this graphic, so I think the stats are actually incredibly close to one another. They're like almost identical if you add that Sisu series to that equation.
Yeah, I mean, not really much changes. He scored, I believe it was 4 goals in the last game. He scored 4 goals in the game before that as well. So that average goals for would drop relatively close to Temppanen's 5.2. So, and he only allowed 3 goals and 1 goal in those 2 games as well. So these two are about as even as they get. You talked about it, how they are so familiar with each other, and you can kind of tell, right? I mean, you heard it in their answers. They both said similar things. They just want to stick to playing their game. They want to do what they can. Hey, let's stick with the similarities. They're playing with the same team. Let's even the playing fields even more than we already have.
Yeah, these are the games that they really play for. Like this is the part that they enjoy the most. Like they practice all year just to playing games like this. So let's hope we have a fun matchup here.
As these two playing for a whopping 300 euros, they've already gotten the 75 for making it this point, an extra 150 for winning the semifinals either. So hey, they've already gotten 300 euros almost in total, but they want to add a little bit more to that here in this one. And not only that, but again, bragging rights as these two both get ready for the NHL 24 GWC. Obviously, both of these two stacked resumes, championships upon championships, why not add one more as we are underway for our finals of ECL 24 Winter 1v1, as we are looking here at the perspective of Eki. We'll slow things down here just a little bit and move this up the ice. Temppanen able to draw the turnover, and he will hold on to this puck and get a line change. You wonder here, still believe that's something that we'll continue to see, just like we saw in our last series, as he will draw a tripping call. And Temppanen now will go on the power play here early in this game.
Yeah, early power play drawn right after that line change from temppanen, and Eki tries to be aggressive on that, but it results in yet another tripping penalty for him.
That's something we have seen Eki struggle with a little bit here in this series. He had a few tripping penalties here against Sisu, so penalties one of the few things Eki has not been great on so far today. We'll see if he can kill another one off here. He has control of it right now. All right, 30 seconds gone. He gets into the offensive zone. Pass across, looking, shot on, he scores! Timothy Liljegren gets the scoring start for Eki, and he does it shorthanded. How about that?
Wow, gets the goalie to bite off the post. A little backhand forehand action, and the goalie bounces, and Eki is able to find that short side.
So Eki gets the scoring started here, and he does it on the penalty kill. We've not seen that so far. We've seen it close to happening a few times, but Eki able to actually take advantage, though. He draws first blood here in game number one. And now Temppanen with over half of this power play remaining. Try to find a response. He has it here now with Austin Matthews. Between the legs move, backhand. Oh, he almost had a highlight reel play, but he couldn't get the finish. And still has it, shot on, goes wide. Still has control, shot on, he scores! Beats Jones on the glove side, and in a matter of minutes, Temppanen responds to the Eki goal and ties this up at 1 apiece.
2-minute penalty, and that results in a short-handed goal, a crazy between the legs move for a backhand chance, and after that, Temppanen ties it up. What a power play right there.
So not even 5 minutes in, 4 minutes and 1 second, we've already had a goal for each side. That just shows you what you are in store here to see in this best of 3 series. The winner, 300 euros. Eki wants it, and Eki gets a goal. He's back on top, 2-1.
Wow, this game has started off very electrically. I mean, 3 goals in the first 5. That's a lot of goals that we're on pace for if this keeps going.
Well, I hope you got a snack. I hope you got your drink, because if you get up, you're going to miss a few goals. It seems like 5 minutes in, 3 goals already between these two sides. Eki with the 2-1 lead here early, and now here comes Temppanen trying to respond. He holds it at the point and gives it back down low. Holds Wadomi at the right face-off dot, but it's poked away by Eki, who will now look to counter. Eki gets past the defender, 2-on-1, holds it, pass across behind him, but could not get a shot on. Promising play for Eki, ends up in a little result. Here comes Temppanen on the counter. Eki with numbers defensively, pass back, and a penalty going to be drawn. Another trip on Eki, and you know, Simply, you mentioned it earlier, how Eki has had a few of those. That's something to start to look out for here, as if you continue to give Temppanen those opportunities, he's going to make you pay eventually.
Yeah, those tripping penalties, it's actually something that Eki himself has been talking about recently, that he's taking way too many, and right now that is continuing in this series.
Temppanen got a power play goal earlier. He also gave up a shorthanded goal, so if we see anything close to what we saw on the last power play for Temppanen, don't get up, because you might miss 2. Eki has possession. He'll just dump that into the zone, as that puck's going to be picked up by Temppanen, and it's going to be held on for a whistle. So a bit of an odd play, but it'll lead to an offensive zone faceoff here for Eki. Face-off to the left side. Won by Temppanen in the defensive zone, so he'll get his power play started. And we'll break it out with John Tavares. Brody bumped off of that puck right as he tried to cross the blue line, but Temppanen gets it back. Has Klingberg, holds it, pass across. Nice break up there for Eki to be there with Giordano. And he held on there after the save from Jones.
You see a little bit of a change of like skating lane from temppanen right there on the blue line, able to just cut through the defense of Eki. Really nicely done there.
As Brody holds it here. Gives it up over to Matthews. Eki doing a nice job there on the penalty kill as he's taken a few of them, but he's not had to pay for it so far too much here in this series. Gave up the one, but got the goal back and kills off another. Eki on a 2-on-2, has control of it, puck loose. Battled for and picked up by Eki, so he still has it here in his offensive zone. Cycles it around. Shot on tip, goes wide to the left side. As a battle for it is won. Here by Temppanen. Shot on, nothing there. Tried to get it, a nice poke from behind there from Eki. Temppanen controls behind the net. Tripped from behind again. So Temppanen with a third power play, a third tripping penalty going against Eki.
That one actually looks like it's gonna be called for cross-checking this time. These are penalties that just sometimes happen when you are bumping people like in the back in this game. Just throw a little bit of a bump in there and sometimes that will result in a cross-checking penalty.
So that bump from behind leads to another power play here for Temppanen. 3 shots so far in the 2 attempts he's had. Eki once again controlling the puck here despite being shorthanded. 2-on-0, pass across, he scores! 3 goals and 2 of them shorthanded. Eki increases his lead 3-1 over Temppanen.
A great passing play, finding the player on the left wing wide open, and then there is a backdoor guy coming in. An easy pass for the backdoor finish.
So Eki maybe taking the penalties, but hey, if he's going to keep scoring off of them, why not keep yourself in the box at the rate this is going? Up by 2 now with 6 minutes remaining here in the first period. A little bit over a minute remaining on the power play for Temppanen. He's really struggled to get control of this puck here despite having that extra man out there. Eki still holds on to it here in the neutral zone, and Temppanen finally able to get it off of his stick with 30 seconds to play. It's dumped in by Eki, and he's now at even strength. So another power kill there for Eki. Temppanen not even able to get a shot on that there on that attempt. He currently has it here in the offensive zone, trying to find his way. Eki bumps him from behind. Ooh, shot in front, almost found its way through, but Eki able to defend it well, and now he has possession. Holds it at the right boards, bump from behind, still holds on to it, however, but a nice job there for Temppanen to cause the turnover with 2.5 to play. Looking for a goal to close the gap. Not able to find the opportunities there. Eki had it for a moment, but then immediately turned it over. Now here comes Temppanen here on the counterattack. Puck turned over again. Eki doing a great job defensively here in this first period. Just feels like he knows everything that's coming here from Temppanen offensively. You see, very, very familiar with each other. Good friends on and off the ice. As Temppanen will dump that opposite side, that will go for icing, and Eki will touch up on it with 4 seconds to go. So maybe enough time for a quick shot here if he can get it. We'll see what type of play he draws up. Won by Eki, pass back in front. And that's going to do it. So Eki with a 3-1 lead at the end of the first period. 2 of his goals shorthanded, and how about this? 5-4 in terms of shots, but it's actually Temppanen that has got the advantage there due to the power play opportunities he's had with the time of attack. Although yet Eki has 2 shorthanded goals, so an odd first period nevertheless, so believe, but Eki not complaining. He's up by 2.
Yeah, it's pretty all over the place this game right now, especially when Temppanen has been on the power play. It seems like no one really has the control here, and Eki able to get some of those counterattacks going, even on the penalty kill. I'll be interested to see if Temppanen or Eki is able to get a bit of more of a control of this game.
Game number 1 of a best-of-3 series here in the finals. Eki, the 4 seed, Temppanen, the 1. Rematch of the NHL 23 European Finals a year ago. As Eki moves in the offensive zone, pass across, tried to hit it back over to that right side, but couldn't find it cleanly. A nice breakup. Now it's Temppanen, but it's turned over by Eki immediately. Eki holds in the neutral zone, gets it past the blue line, pass across to Morgan Riley. Couldn't get a shot off clean, but the puck finds its way to Jones. And Temppanen will hold on for the stoppage. Stickler face-off won by Eki. Holds it at the point. Shot on, blocked in front there by Riley for Temppanen. He draws another penalty. So the 4th power play of the game coming up.
That one actually didn't look like a play where that poke would result in a penalty, so Eki kind of looks surprised, and I'm not surprised by that. But yet again, Temppanen going on the power play.
So Eki will tie it up in the defensive zone, but he's not able to win it. Temppanen has it now at the point. Skating, looking for some space. Eki pressuring him well here. Temppanen, he has given up more goals in the power play than he's been able to score. 2 shorthanded goals for Eki here, and he has a 3-1 lead.
There is yet
a late
another
penalty here.
tripping penalty.
Yeah, so a 5-on-3 upcoming here for Temppanen, and you know, you talk about how taking advantage of opportunities is going to be a key here for either of these 2 players. Not many opportunities are going to be better than this. A 5-on-3 and over a minute on it here.
Yeah, if you're Temppanen, you just have to think that this is where you have to get back into the game. Make it a 1-goal game yet again.
So we'll have 64 seconds here on this 5-on-3 power play. He wins the face-off in the offensive zone. Looks to cycle this around. It's across. What a save by Martin Jones. Temppanen gets it back, however. Holding it, looking, skates across. Shot on. Save made by Jones, but Temppanen gets it back immediately. Already seeing the advantages of that extra space and those 2 extra players on the ice. 2-on-0 shot. What a save. Martin Jones robs Temppanen blind on that one. Full pressure activated. Temppanen skates in. Pass across. Puck loose. Matthews with a shot. Save made again. And Eki will hold, and you see the reaction from Temppanen. He cannot believe he didn't score.
One great bump by Eki at the side of the net, but then right after Temppanen gets that wide open cross crease, but somehow, some way, Martin Jones makes that save.
And Eki plenty thankful for it. Face off to the right side. One by Temppanen, pass across, and he scores. Austin Matthews finally breaks it open for Temppanen. He capitalizes on the power play opportunity, and he cuts Eki's lead in half, 3-2.
That was coming. That goal was about to come no matter what.
As you get a look at the replay there, that just little brush pass across there over the Matthews, and you mentioned that you just kind of felt like that goal was only a matter of time for Temppanen, chance after chance after chance. It just felt like he just kept getting denied there by the goaltender, Martin Jones, but finally able to break through. The 5-on-4 was the active power play situation, so we're back to even strength now. Eki holds in the offensive zone, pass across, shot, and he scores! Morgan Riley gives Eki his 2-goal lead back, and that has to be so frustrating for Temppanen. You finally cut into the lead after all of those chances, and it doesn't even take 2 minutes for Eki to get that 2-goal lead back.
What a bounce back from Eki right after the penalty kill, right after allowing a goal. Just gets the 2-goal lead back. That is such a huge goal after being in a little bit of a washing machine in his own zone there.
So almost halfway through this game, we've seen 6 goals. Eki with the 4-2 lead here in game number 1. As he controls it right now with McCabe. He's up to Tavares, tried to pass over across to Marner, but couldn't find it as it was picked off clean by Temppanen. Temppanen breaks into the offensive zone, shot on, save made, brushed aside there by Jones, but Temppanen still controls possession, hit off of the puck, and now here comes Eki on the other end. 3-on-3 scenario, Eki has it. Bertuzzi holds backhand, tried to pass it across, but too many bodies in front. That one's broken up. Eki still maintains possession and passes it all the way up to the point. Now to Tavares. Tavares to Liljegren. Pass it over to the right corner boards. Here's Eki with it, holding it, trying to evade the defender Matthews. We'll give it back up to the point as here comes a turnover and a breakaway for Temppanen, trying to beat Eki. Nice job getting back. Shot on, save made by Jones. Temppanen still has it. Another shot, another save. Third shot, third save. Temppanen still has it. Pass to the point. Holding it now still is Temppanen. He's finally taken off that puck, but he gets it back immediately. As Eki does get the turnover after the 4th or 5th attempt. He's able to get it. 6 minutes left here in this second period. What a play there by Eki to get back and deny the breakaway opportunity there for Temppanen.
Lots of chances right now for Temppanen, but just no breakthrough here.
Eki has it after creating that turnover at the blue line. Passes it left side to Matthews. Matthews holding, and he will be offsides. 2-goal game, but 4:24 to play in the second period. It's been a back and forth affair so far. Eki with his advantage via the shorthanded goal. 2 of them so far in this game. He's up by 2. So here comes Temppanen trying to respond. Shot on, looked like it just went a little bit wide. Maybe hit a piece of the stick of Martin Jones. Now here comes Eki on the other end. Nyes holds, skates inside, shot on, save, made another chance there as Temppanen passed it out, and Eki was the one to get to it. Battle for it, and Temppanen comes out with it, but a dangerous play almost there for Temppanen. Eki creates the turnover in the neutral zone, skates in, holds, passes at the right corner boards, passes it behind the net. Nyes has it. Looking for an option. Eki passes it. He scores. He finds Yarncroc waiting for that play. It was set up to perfection. And Eki up 5-2 now. Quite the advantage here late in the second period.
Eki with another goal. And as you said after that previous goal, that Temppanen must be feeling a little bit frustrated. Well, if he wasn't, then now he must be, because even after that goal, he was creating a lot of chances, not able to score. And Eki comes the other way and puts the game kind of away. 3-goal lead. It is still doable for Temppanen, but that goal kind of kills the spirit a little bit for him.
10 seconds remaining. Eki still with possession, trying to grow his lead even further. Riley controls it. 3 seconds. Eki pass across. Shot on from Matthews is saved. Another shot on late from Riley, also saved. So that will do it for the second period, and it was all Eki there. Increases his lead to 3, and again, you look at the stats, rather even, but it's Eki that has really been able to take advantage and capitalize on his opportunities.
Yeah, Temppanen with his chances as well, so if you're Temppanen here, you have to think that you still have the chances to come back into this game. It hasn't been like Eki has been just dominating this match, so you just gotta stay patient and just believe that the 3 goals will come if you keep creating chances like he has been.
We'll see if he can continue to create those chances. As I gotta ask you, Temppanen, knowing he's down by 3, just game 1, so you have 2 more opportunities to try to win this series. But what do you feel like he can do or needs to do to try to turn this game back into his favor?
I mean, he really just needs to keep doing what he's doing. Yeah, this game has been like very even in my opinion, and right now it just seems like Eki has been a little bit more sharp when it comes to finishing off those plays. So that's really like the goal scoring part is where the difference is at right now.
Eki currently has control, looking to continue that goal-scoring touch that he has found here in this game. He's tapping in behind. Oh, what a play there between the legs move. Couldn't
I
make a
believe he
stick
was
there,
trying to
however,
go
and now
five
Eki comes
goal
to
on the
counter.
goalie there.
Would have been a crafty little move. He could have made it stick, but Eki now on the other end of the ice trying to find something himself. That's at the point. Pass to Brody, shot on. Blocker save made by Jones, but Eki gets it back. Holds it with Bertuzzi. Over at the left corner boards, passes it behind the net. Puck turned over and picked up by Temppanen. With a little bit over 15 minutes to play here. Eki up by 3, looking to hold on. Temppanen stops, goes. Brings it over across. Puck was loose, and Eki's the one to get to it first. He'll now try to counter. 3-on-3 scenario, now a 3-on-4. Has some space on the right side, stops, looks, tried to pass it across, but Temppanen well positioned there to get in front of that. Temppanen now on the counter attack with Klingberg. Holds it. Waiting, shot doesn't go on, and now it's a turnover, and here comes Eki over at the right side, but a nice job from Temppanen getting back. He'll bump that puck off of his stick. With 12 minutes remaining here in the third period, and things starting to get dire here for Temppanen, down by 3. Has to find a goal here quick to try to extend his lifespan here in this game, just stay in it. John Croc brings it past the blue line for Eki, very patient. Passes it down low to Jones. Holds it. This is the Yarn Croc. Now over at the point to McCabe. Tried to pass it back over to the opposite side point to his left, but hit off the skate and bounced out to the neutral zone. It's a back in, however, but a nice play from Temppanen there to get him right back out past that blue line. And here comes Temppanen, trying to find some space, but poked away there by Eki, who has been very sound so far defensively, despite some of the chances Temppanen has had.
Yeah, it seems like Eki has been able to lock in on defense as well, coming into this third period.
There's a pass across there to Robertson, just could not convert, had some open space in the net, but Temppanen right where he needed to be defensively to disrupt that play. 6.5 remaining. Temppanen in the offensive zone. Pass across goes awry, and it finds its way to Matthews in the neutral zone as Temppanen tried to windmill deke through a pair of defenders. The first one worked, the second one not so much. Now here comes Eki on the other end. Holds it backhand over at the right corner boards and passes it back to Giordano. Less than 5 minutes remaining here in the third period. Eki looking to take control of this series. The first of 2 wins the championship here in the ECL 24 Winter 1v1. And Eki plenty content with just holding on to possession and letting this time kill as a 2-on-2. Eki holding. Nice to play there to be patient and wait. A better defensive play from Temppanen and not allow the cross crease, but the second time works itself out as Eki gets it across, finds his way to the goal, and it's a 6-2 score, and it's Morgan Riley yet again.
Eki just putting the final touch into this game. Finds the backdoor play and puts this game away.
So it will be a 1-0 series lead here for Eki, unless something very unforeseen and catastrophic happens. Not really foreseeing that happening, obviously, but we've seen crazier things happen as Temppanen gets a quick shot on that, and it'll be held onto by Eki. Face off to the right side. Stick lift 1. Eki in the defensive zone. Turned over almost immediately, and now here comes Temppanen on the counterattack. Turns, finds his way to the slot. Backhand shot. Nice little move, but a better save there made for Eki. With less than a minute remaining here in the third period. Eki up by 4 in full control of this one. Nice little windmill move. Oh, he tried to get a little fancy there, leaving that puck to break its way past Temppanen, but just could not get the finish to stick.
Very close with that one-handed tuck there for Eki.
Tried to end this one with a little bit of flair as Eki will just dump that one in the defensive zone. Temppanen will hold on to it, not going to do anything with it. And that will do it for game number one, a 6-2 final in favor of the man on your screen, Eki. One win away from being crowned your ECL 24 Winter 1v1 champion. As we will go back into the studio here, B Major, Soplio here with you. Is Sopli, a very fun game. We had great action back and forth there to start that one out, and then really it felt like from about the late stage of the first period on, it was really Eki that was able to capitalize and take control of that game, and temppanen just really not able to find a response for it.
Yeah, the first two periods of that game was like non-stop action. Seemed like both players had all the chances in the world, and Eki was just sharper finishing off those plays, able to get a couple of short-handed goals as well, and that just really made the difference in that game.
Yeah, you saw Eki. He mentioned it there when we talked to him before the series. You know, in a series like this, and a lot of these competitive series, it's just a matter on who can get the most luck sometimes, who can get a few bounces their way. Eki, those two short-handed goals definitely did him some good, and maybe a few bounces here and there as well, helping him out in what was a pretty tight game where both sides had a lot of chances. Eki with a 1-0 series lead after that 6-2 victory in game one. Game number two coming up in just a few moments, but first we're going to take a break and hear from our sponsors.
Kato. Tonne no. Vedä se. Onpa vaikea. Tuo ja kiskis. Ilmoittaudun mukaan E-hockey SM-kisoihin. 1-1 tai 6-6 joukkuekisa. Nää se oli ihan nättiä niinku oikeesti pelattu.
Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi. Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi.
Kato. Tonne no. Vedä se. Onpa vaikea. Tuo tuohon ja kis. Ilmoittaudun mukaan EHOKin SM-kisoihin. 1-1 tai 6-6 joukkuekisa. Nää se oli ihan nättiä niinku oikeesti pelattu.
Thank you for sticking with us. Game number 2 in the finals between Eki and Temppanen coming up in just a matter of moments. As guys, make sure you put an exclamation point Kovenant Lakritsi in the chat for your chance to win a €20 Kovenant Lakritsi gift card. That is exclamation point Kovenant Lakritsi in the chat if you want to have your chance at winning that. And a shout out to our great sponsor in Kovenant Lakritsi for their amazing support and for providing us with that great giveaway here for everyone listening. As we get ready for game number 2, you see Eki and Temppanen getting things set up, and Sopli, you mentioned it, both sides had some pretty solid chances, but yet Eki able to get the advantage. It feels like that final scoreline may be flattering Eki a little bit, a much closer game, I think, than what that final is going to end up saying.
Yeah, 100% a very close game, and Eki was probably slightly better just based on the fact that he was able to create a lot of like 100% sure scoring chances, and he was able to capitalize on those. But we have to remember that Temppanen really did have his chances in that game as well. So if the second game starts strong for Temppanen, I think he definitely has a shot here. He just needs to start putting the puck into the net, just like Eki did in that first game.
Well, we will see if he can do it. A victory will clinch the championship here for Eki. Remember, both sides have already clinched their spots into the grand finals here in a few months' time, but both these guys, they're competitors. They've won championships in the past. Would love to add one more to their resume, as well as the extra €300 on top of the 75 and the 150 that they've already earned for getting to this point. As we get things set here in just a few minutes, Sopli, I do have to ask you here, what is something from that first game that you noticed that people should look out for going to game number?
It's definitely the little details when it comes to like goal scoring. Like the difference between a really good scoring chance and a good scoring chance is quite big, in my opinion, as Eki was able to get those like 100% goal chances, whereas Temppanen did have his chances. Like he definitely could have had more goals in that game, but he just needs to find that last little play to make it sure that the goalie doesn't stop him.
Well, we'll see if Eki can clinch the championship or if Temppanen can push this to a game 3. We saw Eki mention earlier how a lot of times it feels like it goes to the decisive game when these two meet. We'll see if that will ring true here in this series as Temppanen with control. He almost found his way there to the opening goal like Eki did in the first game. And Eki takes control of it here. Looking at Eki's view of things, he's in those white and green St. Pat's jerseys. Temppanen works his way through the neutral zone. Gets past the blue line. Turns with Marner. Got bumped from behind, but the puck finds his way to Riley as Riley went to the ground. Not sure if that's going to be a penalty or not. It will not. So clean play there for Eki. Have to look out for that. The tripping calls a little bit of a struggle for Eki so far today. He's taken a few of them. As he has possession of the puck right now. Lost it on that bump from Temppanen, a nice defensive play, and Temppanen will go for a line change. He'll take his time bringing this into the neutral zone. It's over to Kampf. Kampf attacks the puck here. Temppanen bumped off of that. Good defensive play from Eki over the corner board, but it's turned over immediately, and now Temppanen gets another chance. Gets it past the blue line. Nice pass over to Batuzzi. Pass across and he scores! A beautiful setup for Temppanen, and he starts out the scoring here in this potentially decisive game 2.
Similar goal that we see from Eki oftentimes, where he's able to find that pass up the ice and get a 2-on-0 attack, and Temppanen makes it look easy on that.
And that was after a really good defensive play there from Eki as well. He created the turnover, but Temppanen was able to get it back, reset. Nice breakout in the neutral zone that led to that opportunity and the eventual goal. Now we'll see if Eki can respond. This is Temppanen's first lead of this series. Eki led the entire way, or it was tied in that last game. Temppanen was never out in front, but he is now. Eki holds on to it, loses the puck, however. Now here comes Temppanen on the other end. Lost it at the blue line, and Eki will hold on and get a line change. It's been a common theme here throughout a couple of these series. A lot of line changes, a new stamina system in NHL 24, forcing players to be a little bit more selective and a little bit more aware of the energy levels of the guys that are out on the ice. A shot on from Eki. Saved away, but Eki gets it back. Has it over the right corner boards and passes it down low over to Robertson. Eki working it back up to the point. Shot on. Saved by Jones and swept away, but Eki gets it back once again for a third time. Holding at the point. Pass to Robertson, shot on, blocked in front before it could make it to the goaltender, so no real danger on that play, and now Temppanen will get his offensive opportunity. Breaks it past the blue line and gets into the offensive zone. Tries to pass it across to the middle, but Eki there to pick that one off. Now he'll take over possession at the 6-minute mark. Down by 1 right now is Eki trying to tie this game up. That play swept away. It was a pass attempt that made its way over to Martin Jones, and now here comes Temppanen on the other side. As not able to get collected, as that'll be called offsides with 5:06 remaining here in period number 1 of game 2. See the passing effectiveness so far here in this one. Both of these guys very efficient when they've had the puck on their stick. No surprise when these two teams meet, or these two players meet, rather. As Eki takes possession in the defensive zone, he'll hold on, trying to find his way to an open man on the breakout. Finds Riley and gets it past the blue line. Loses it, however. A little bit of Riley on Riley crime as Temppanen's Morgan Riley got that poke check. Eki gets it back, tried to find Nylander, but the pass a little bit strong, but Nylander gets it back. Eki holding it at the right corner boards. Passes it down low, but a nice job there from Temppanen to beat him to the puck, and now here he comes trying to break into the neutral zone and pass the blue line. Couldn't do so, however. Stopped right at center ice, and now Eki will slow things down once again on the breakout. 80 seconds left here, this opening frame. Now possession. Gives it over to Matthews. Matthews with some space. Matthews shot on. Blocker save made. Temppanen, however, still have possession. 8 seconds left, now 7. Has it behind the net. Nice little move. Had some space, but could not collect the puck and keep it with him. As Eki goes on the other end, just rips one on, and that'll be brushed aside, and that will do it for period number 1. A pretty fun period there. Some opportunities for both ends, but it's Temppanen with the 1-0 lead after 1 period of game 2.
Yeah, very close period, and this time we see the time on attack is heavily in Eki's favor, unlike in the first game. So I guess this is more of what we probably expected from this series. But now again, it is Temppanen who is leading the game. So at the same time, the time on attack doesn't go hand in hand with goal scoring.
Yeah, I mean, it gives you a little bit of an idea, obviously, of who has really been able to control the possession game, but again, it's all about who's able to create those opportunities, who's able to create a quality amount of opportunities. I mean, it doesn't matter if you're not going to get good shots on that. As so far, Temppanen just 3 chances, now 4 after that one. But every chance he's had just about has been a dangerous one, and he's up by 1 because of that. Face off to the right side in the defensive zone of Eki. It's won by Temppanen. Temppanen moving it around, turned over. Nice play there from Eki as he pressured the point. And now here he comes on the counterattack with Brody. Holding it over at the right boards. Puck loose and finds his way back. Eki shot on and he scores! That squeaked through there. And you see Temppanen with the facepalm reaction. Does not like that goal at all. But Eki absolutely loves it. Tied at 1.
Yeah, Eki just barely able to get that shot off. Marner does have the close quarters ability there, so that definitely helps that shot going in, but it did look like Temppanen played that very well on defense, and I believe that went off of the defenseman and in.
Yeah, nothing you can do there if you're Temppanen. And I think that's why you saw the reaction of frustration. Thought he played that about as well as he could have. And just like that, Mitch Marner puts the puck in past Martin Jones and ties this thing up at 1. Eki now has control of the possession and the momentum on his side. Looks past the blue line to Morgan Riley over the right boards. Pass back over to Matthews, holding it as Eki shot on. Save made by Martin Jones, and Temppanen will go ahead and play this out. Gives over to Klingberg, who finds Tavares at the opposite side. Gets it past the blue line. Tavares holding it. Pass across. Up there, Eki, who is right there in the lane. And now Eki comes in on the counterattack in the neutral zone. Gets it past the blue line, holds, stops. Trying to find some space, but nothing available to him there as Temppanen has it. Here he goes in the counterattack, has some space. Backhand from Riley, won't convert. There's another chance there. Save made by Jones. Temppanen still with possession, has the puck behind the net. Nice bump there from Eki, but Temppanen still has possession of the puck. A battle for it there in the right corner boards. Eki controlling it, and he'll evade the defender of Temppanen, take over possession. Finally gets out of his own end. He's trying to pass it over to that right boards, but Temppanen right there to pick that one off as slow things down here for just a second and reset to get a line change. Almost halfway through this game, tied at 1. Eki wins the championship here with a victory. If Temppanen wins, we'll go to a decisive game 3. Eki couldn't get past the blue line. Nice defense there played by Temppanen, and now here comes Temppanen. Counterattack. Temppanen holding it, gives it back to the point, finds opposite side, nearly picked off by Eki. Would have been dangerous if he got that clean, but wasn't able to. And now Temppanen just going to reset and stride his way past the boards. Here comes Temppanen, shot on, blocker save made, and a delayed penalty going to go against Eki. So a power play opportunity for Temppanen, which probably feels a little bit bittersweet considering how that game 1 went. Good on the power play, but also gave up 2 shorthanded goals.
We've seen this before, Temppanen on the power play. Let's see if he's able to not have happen what happened in that first game, letting in a couple of short-handed goals. So let's see if he's able to actually be the only one scoring on his own power plays this game.
Face off won by Eki in the defensive zone, and he gives it to Yarncroc, who has lots of space on the left side. Holds back, hit pass across. He had some space there if it got there. It was broken up by Temppanen in the middle. Temppanen on the counter with Matthews. Shot on, saved by Jones. Puck loose in front. Battle for it, and Temppanen who finds it. Shot on again from Matthews. Tried to pick that short side, but couldn't get it. Save made. Temppanen still with possession. Holding at the point. Shot on from afar. Left pad save made by Jones. Temppanen still with it. Full pressure activated now. Temppanen cycling that puck around. 25 seconds left in the power play. A shot in close. Save made by Jones. Eki plays it out. And he will just dump this one away. Smart move by Eki to kill off the full pressure and to kill off the penalty. Still not at all up here with 5.5 to play here in period number 2. Temppanen has it in the offensive zone behind the net. Holds it, tries to pass it back in front, but nothing there. Hit off the side of the net. Now here comes Eki on the other end. 2-on-2. Eki, pass across. Forehand on, great move with Matthews, and he puts it in. Eki leads for the first time here in this game, 2-1.
Great move there. Picks up the puck in the center with Matthews, and he's able to complete a backhand forehand move, and right before crashing into the goaltender, so he's able to tuck that around the goalie. Gets the lead back.
And there is a look at Eki after putting himself up by 1 here with 4:32 to go in the second period. Matthews on the goal from Klingberg and Nylander. Eki will control this and gets it past the blue line. Trying to pass it back to the middle, but couldn't find it. Gets it back, however, over the left side. Back at the point. Eki shot on from the tip, and he scores! It's Matthews again! And in the snap of a finger, Eki from in a tie situation and killing off a penalty to being up by 2 is the Eki way. It's no surprise to see it happen yet again.
That's how quickly it changes, as that goal actually looks like it hit off the post and then went off the skate of Temppanen's goaltender there. So a little bit of a lucky one, but a great find for that tip in the middle for Matthews, and Eki takes it.
We mentioned it earlier, and Eki said it when he talked to us. In a series like this, where there's not a lot separating these two players, you're going to need that sometimes. Sometimes that is what the difference is in a series like this. A little bit of luck there on the bounce, but he'll take it. 3-1 lead with a minute to play here in the second period. Eki trying to clinch this series and the championship for the winter season. He controls it in his own zone right now with 10 seconds to play. Finds Bertuzzi down the middle of the neutral zone. Can't hold on to it, but he gets it back with Tavares. Pass across and he scores! Marner taps it in at the right side. Eki taking full control of this one, up 4-1. All 4 of those goals unanswered.
Right before the intermission as well, and Temppanen's not gonna like that. But a great feed across, and Marner is there to tap his second of the game into the net for Eki.
And with just 3.4 seconds to play, a massive goal there for Eki. I mean, the difference between 2 and 3, it may not sound like a lot, but with just 1 period to play, and for Templeton having to go against a player in Eki that is so possession heavy, that extra goal means a lot. It carries a lot of weight, and you see the stats pretty much dead even in every single way other than the scoreboard.
Yeah, it's kind of exactly what we saw in game 1 as well. Eki just being able to score the goals at the end, and he is up by 3. A deserved lead, and up by 3 at the moment.
Look at Templeton just trying to think through what he needs to do to mark his way to a comeback. A 3-goal deficit against that man right there in Eki. He looks to add yet another title to his already stacked resume. Multi-time NHL GWC winner, multi-time ECL winner at the Sixes side of things. 3-time IIHF champion. Trying to clinch the winter championship here for ECL 24. We'll see if he can finish the job. He has it in the offensive zone right now. As he circles around looking for an option. Holds it behind the net. What puck possession by Eki, and he finds Matthews across for the score, and that is a hat trick for Austin Matthews, and a 4-goal advantage for Eki, and Temppanen, things starting to unravel a little bit here for him now.
Yeah, this is a very difficult scenario, though. You have to remember, if Temppanen somehow, some way is able to climb back in this game, he would carry that momentum going into game 3, which would be massive. But 4 goals in the third, there is a timeout being called. Let's see if he's able to start a comeback here.
And how about Eki just really taking it to Temppanen ever since that first goal went in? And, you know, we talk about how the possession game for Eki is such a big part of his game. I mean, Temppanen was never able to bump him off that puck. He just kind of controlled it with Nylander the whole time and was able to find Matthews on the other side. And Eki maybe not done. Holds it with Tavares. Moves it here towards the slot, but is bumped off of it finally. And now here comes Temppanen, who's going to have to act quickly if he wants any chance to get back into this game. Holds puck protect over behind the net, but he's bumped off at the right post. Eki tries to counter here. Eki with a 3-on-2. Holds it, stops, goes across, and he scores! Eki is locked in. 6 unanswered goals. 2 goals in the first 5 minutes of the third period. And now it's starting to feel like all but a formality here in favor of Eki.
This is just starting to look very unpleasant from Temppanen's perspective, but yet again, Eki able to find that back post play, and Temppanen just has to be super aggressive on defense now as well, of course. He needs those goals real badly, so that is going to open up a lot of space for Eki here as well.
And the frustration starting to hit a little bit here for Temppanen, and understandably so. He's been nothing short of dominant. Had an undefeated regular season. He only has lost one game throughout the entirety of this tournament. That was in round 1 against Artusios. Eki on a breakaway, stops, hold, shot on, save made by Martin Jones. But, you know, just talking about the run that Temppanen's been on, this is not something that he's been used to. He is not seeing the result anything close to this. He's used to being the one up 6-1, not down 6-1 in the third period, let alone with a championship on the line. Eki holds possession, stretch pass to the right side, 2-on-2, pass across, and he scores. Tavares, the one to be the beneficiary of that one, and Eki just pouring it on here now in the third period.
Yeah, we just see the way Temppanen has to react to Eki being up by so much, and that leaves a lot of room in Temppanen's zone, and Eki is just able to use that to his advantage.
Temppanen has possession, down by 6 with 10 minutes to play. Is just trying to find something positive here to take out of this one. Obviously, the disappointment plenty set in here for Temppanen, but you know, you look at Eki, assuming that he does take this lead home, it's been a dominant run for him. How about this stat? Eki has not lost a single game in regulation during this tournament. Twice during the regular season, both of those games were in overtime. So it just kind of goes to show you that he has been borderline perfect throughout his run here in this tournament. And he's capping it off in a near perfect way here as he has another chance, but between the leg moves. Couldn't stick the landing, but a delayed penalty now going to go against Eki, and Temppanen now want to try to score here before the power play even has to come out as Eki touches up on that puck, and now Temppanen will get the extra man. And as for those in the chat that have not yet, make sure you type in !Covenant Lockracy for a chance to win a €20 Covenant Lockracy gift card. That's Covenant Lockracy in the chat if you haven't already. It'll be drawn right at the conclusion of this game, so a little bit over 5 minutes, we'll find out the winner of that. So if you haven't gotten your chance to submit an entry for that, feel free to do so as Temppanen gets on the board. Morgan Riley puts it in on that cross-crease pass, so Temppanen with a power play goal. Makes it a 7-2 game in favor of Eki. As you get a quick look at the replay there. Nice for Temppanen to get a goal in. Never want to see a game get out of hand like this, especially with two of the top players, not just in Europe, but globally, going against each other here on this final stage. There's a little bit under 5 minutes remaining as Temppanen holds possession of it. Shot on, glove save made by Martin Jones, and Eki will freeze it. Face off to the right side in Eki's defensive zone. Won by Eki. Goes at the right boards and passes it up to Riley. Eki rolling at the corner boards, passing front, shot on. Save made by Jones for Temppanen, but Eki still have possession. As Nylander has it, gives it over to Riley with a quick shot on net. Another save made. Temppanen gets possession, trying to get out of his own zone. He finally does. But right after he crossed that blue line, Eki found his way to the puck. He'll dump that to the other side, and change going to be made here for Temppanen. 90 seconds to play. Eki in full, firm control of this game, up 7-2 is a sweeping shot on. Save was made there by Jones. Eki with a beautiful spin move, windmill move, can he finish? No, he can't, but Eki trying to add on to the highlight reel of goals that he has put on here today. Just 17 seconds remaining. Eki controls it. It's over to Tavares, back to Marner. Nice move, shot on. Won't go. As Temppanen will take control of the puck. And he will just hold on to it. And Eki, in a perfect 2-0 sweep, he is your ECL 24 Winter 1v1 champion. A perfect run. He did not lose once. And he takes home the extra 300 euros on top of the euros that he already earned just for getting to this point. As a big congratulations to Eki. And guys, we've got Espo coming up soon. We'll talk about that a little bit more in a little bit, but there it is. Eki, your 1v1 champion for the ECL 24 winter season. A big congratulations to him, and so hopefully you saw Eki in dominant fashion there in that game too. You have to feel for temppanen after a great run and a great season he had, but Eki just on a different level today. It felt like no one was going to beat him.
Yeah, very convincing run from Eki all around. Like every single time he got like a 2-goal lead, it seemed like the game was just gonna get out of hand as Eki just kept putting more goals onto the board. Temppanen played, I want to say, like 1.5 games was a really tight gameplay between these two, but at the end Eki was able to like get the upper hand in that game too after having like a multi-goal lead there. So congrats to Eki, very convincing run here. And as you said, he didn't lose a single game in regulation all tournament, and he didn't lose a game here today. A very convincing run.
And we have the champion joining us here in just a few moments as Eki with the victory over temppanen, another series, another sweep, and another championship for Eki to add on. As looks like we're getting him queued in here. As you see, it's not the live version of Eki, but that is Eki just in still form as we get things queued up here. As Eki, there he is, Eki moving actually here. As a thank you to Eero for getting everything set up here behind us. Eki, congratulations on the championship, man. I mean, just take us through what this run was like for you today. We were just talking about it. It felt like you just weren't going to be beat no matter what your opponents did.
Yeah, like I just said before the finals, like recently, especially in online versus, I felt the best I have in NHL since NHL 21. Like against everybody, seems like a lot of stuff is working for me, and my game style seems to fit this game, especially in online versus. So that's great to see. Yeah, nothing much to it. Got to say in the finals. I don't know why I was taking so many penalties in game 1. Luckily, my penalty kill was very good. In game 2, just I felt like everything I did offensively worked. So it probably wasn't as the score maybe lied a bit in the final, but yeah, I'm obviously very happy with the win and boost my confidence going forward.
Yeah, and something that I know you have to be really happy with, knowing that the NHL 24 GWC European top 8 is coming up soon. 3 of the guys you'll be going against, including yourself, in this tournament. Knocked off Sisu, you knocked off temppanen. I mean, what does not only winning this tournament do for you, but playing the way you did and being the form you are against some of that competition that you're going to have to get ready for on the big stage here in just a few weeks' time?
Yeah, not to repeat myself, but like I said, of course this is a massive confidence booster, and the way I've been playing recently, my confidence is higher than at any point during the past 2 years. So that's a great feeling, and I just hope I can keep this going when the NHL World Championships roll along. But yeah, obviously this was a big tournament as well. ECL 1v1, like you said, all the best players in Europe are in this tournament. So even though the prize pool maybe isn't the biggest, just winning this is a massive confidence booster and feels amazing.
Absolutely, a informed and confident Eki. That is a scary sight for everyone in the European scene. Eki, just before we sign off here and wrap things up, is there anything that you want to say, anyone that you want to thank or shout out here before we wrap up?
Not really. Thank you everybody for supporting today in the chat as always, and see you in the grand finals.
We will see you in the grand finals. Your ECL 24 Winter 1v1 champion. Eki, congratulations once again, and thank you so much for taking the time to join us a few times here today.
Thank you.
Great stuff there from Eki. And, he kind of mentioned it, maybe not the biggest prize pool, maybe not, the NHL 24 GWC, but nevertheless, a massive victory for him. You always want to bring home those titles when you can. He does so, and he brings home the extra 300 euros on top of the 150 and the 75 that he brought on. Not a bad take to get home for Temppanen as well for that numbers 2 spot, the 75 plus the 150. And then all 4 of our competitors today, Ekin, Sisu, Temppanen, and Eki, get the 75 euros and an automatic spot into our grand finals in a few months' time. So another congratulations here to Eki. And you heard him say it there, Sopoli. He's confident, he's informed. He said he feels as confident as he has at any point over the last 2 years. And considering he made it to the World Final a year ago, he won it all, I believe, the year before that. That is extremely scary to think about for anyone that's got to go up against him here over the next couple of months.
Yeah, he says he's confident, and like the fact that he didn't like lose any games today and almost no games lost. No games lost in regulation, all tournament. It is scary. It is scary, like you said.
It's a scary thought. We'll see if he can continue that momentum. As before we sign off, just a couple of things we want to go ahead and tie up. First, the Espo eHockey Open is now ready for signups. The Espo eHockey Open is a casual, low-threshold NHL 24 tournament that's suitable for all levels of NHL players. The tournament is mainly played online, but the finalists will meet at the final event on the 13th of April at Kalpukakis Noah Espo. So make sure you go to sportsgamer.gg/Espo to get more information or to sign up. We just put the link on that in our chat. So if you want to learn about that, make sure you go and click that link down below to learn more and sign up. And also more things for you to sign up for, because we are always busy here at sportsgamer.gg. You can sign up for our eHockey SM, both our 1v1 and 6v6 tournaments. We just put the link to that in the chat as well. sportsgamer.gg/lowercase e, uppercase HSM. So if you're a 1v1 player, we've got a tournament for you. If you and your squad want to come in on the 6v6 side and participate, we have got that for you as well. So you can go to sportsgamer.gg/EHSM for that, or you can click that link that we just triggered in our chat. And one more announcement here before we wrap up. The Swedish Championship League is close to getting underway. So for anyone on the Swedish side of things, both for 1v1 or 6v6 game modes, make sure you sign up for that as well. The SEL, always a fun time. We just put a link to that as well in our Twitch chat. Or you can go online to sportsgamer.gg for more information to sign up to get you and your team involved for the SCL for 2024. As we will bring it back into the studio one last time. Also, the last chance to take part in our 20 euro Covenant Lockety gift card giveaway. So if you haven't done so yet, make sure you do so here in the next few seconds before we draw that. As it looks like we're drawing the winner of that right now. As while we get that under wraps, Soplio will go ahead and wrap things up here. What is your takeaway here from this? I know we saw a lot of hockey here today for the top players, but once again, the cream rises to the top. Eki, your champion here in this tournament.
Yeah. Eki really showed confidence in his game today. No losses today, and even through tough times, he was taking a lot of penalties in some of those games. He was able to just keep his head in the game and not get frustrated even at those times, even putting up shorthanded goals. But like mainly, it's also good for the other 3. They are all 4 going to make it to the grand finals of this tournament. So that is great for all 4 of these, and congrats to Eki for finishing it off in style, getting that first place in this winter season.
And Eki not the only winner, as is gets the 20 euro Covenant Lockety gift card. So Eki not the only winner here, as we'll see if he ends up claiming that. I believe I saw him in the chat earlier, so hopefully for his sake, he did not step away. Otherwise, you're going to see a lot of re-rolls being typed in the chat. But, I got to agree with you. I mean, Eki finishing this one off in style, doing everything he needed to do. And again, it wasn't just today. It was throughout this entire tournament, didn't lose a single game in regulation. The only 2 games he lost were both in the regular season. Both were in overtime. He takes care of business against Susi, who is arguably one of the tougher draws he could have gotten for the semifinals. And then the number 1 seed in Temppanen, who was dominant throughout the regular season, dominant throughout the playoffs, and made short work of it. Nothing but sweeps for him. So once again, a big congratulations to Eki as this does come in and claims that €20 Covenant Locker to see a gift card. So congratulations to Aziz. Congratulations to Eki. And a big thank you to everyone behind the scenes that makes this happen. Irdo, an amazing job over on the production end of things. Sopali, thank you for coming in. Your first time in the booth. You did a great job, man. It was an absolute pleasure to get to call this with you.
Was a pretty new experience for me, gotta say, but it was fun. It was great having a great commentator by my side. So you made my job here pretty easy today.
Hey, well, I definitely appreciate it, man. It was a joy to get to call it with you. A big thank you once again to our sponsors in Covenant Locker for their amazing support. A big thank you to Ken and everyone at the SportsGamer GG staff for everything they do to make these events happen. And once again, a congratulations to Eki, your ECL Winter 24 1v1 champion. Thank you all for listening, watching, and tuning in. And we will be back in just a few short weeks' time. ECL Spring for 24 isn't too far away. Can't wait to join you guys again for that. For myself and Sopali, thank you all for watching. Have a great night, everybody.
Kato. Tonne no. Vedä se. Onpa vaikea. Tuo ja tuohon ja kis. Ilmoittaudun mukaan E-hockey SM-kisoihin. 1-1 tai 6-6 joukkuekisa. Tää se oli ihan nättiä niinku oikeesti pelattu.
Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi.